So, feel free to do the recap, which we were just saying nobody wrote because Adam's not here this week.
Um,
You guys are a
Okay.
team. You have a team name. Sure, you can come
We
together
do.
as a team and remember what happened a week ago.
Yeah, go on, guys. What happened?
Let me check my notes. Hang on.
You have notes.
I mean, other.
Oh,
I'm trying to look.
vegetables.
I'm trying to look past the vegetables.
so we
Can
started
you tell us where we started?
fighting that big spider.
Yes, it started with the spider fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We
We
took
did
out the
that?
spider. Yep, we took out the spider.
After it entrapped us all mentally, God knows how many times.
Who was?
Yes,
I swear one person didn't get caught the whole time.
I
Was it
didn't.
you,
I think it
Sevi?
was, yeah.
Oh no, wait. Yes.
No, Olivia. Yeah, Olivia
Sevi
didn't get caught.
caught. Max was caught like
Once.
at the last half of it.
Yeah, Lucy, Nemea was stuck in it for ages.
Yeah, one minute.
And then what else happened after that? What happened after we did that? We went.
Cut off its head.
Yes, we went back and
Yeah.
showed our
That was a two-man
prize
job, apparently.
to Misha.
Yeah,
Or big-
she
or
thought
big-
he
or
murdered a
big-
woman.
Yes, yes. And
Didn't
our
believe the whole spider story.
our sergeant totally got freaking
Ass handed to him.
yeah, for just his acts and the way that he's not kind of managing or managing the
We
actual
had a
group.
good chit chat on the way back about him and his stupid views.
Yes. Yes. When we got back to the camp, we then found,
need to
I
do
believe, there was a transfer of leadership between
Asteros and
our
Arecia.
sergeant, yes, Asteros and Arisia, and yeah, that catch up, that little bit of story about Asteros, about how he struggled up the ranks, so I don't know why I wrote the word "no women."
Those were separate private notes.
We found out that he's sexist as well as racist.
Yes,
Maybe
that's
what
that's
it's
probably why there's no women. And then Arisia, the commanding officer to Asteros, she's more popular than him, and hang on a minute, one second, guys.
Somebody else carry on.
Didn't we find out she's his senior
Yep.
and had risen in the ranks like quicker than him or something? Or
Oh
maybe
no,
that
now I'm
was
gonna have to
Misha.
serve a mute Max. Hang on. Blam.
Don't
Did it
kick
without
him.
kicking him.
Yay!
Wasn't there a bit with meeting up with your horse mate?
We haven't done that bit yet.
Oh, okay.
That's after. We're still talking about the transfer.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was the whole talk about the new mission, like sort of the new missive that's handed over.
Yeah, he got handed over his missive to tell him that he's got to go off on something and he's got to take Nemea. Arecia told
Oh, hang
Nemea
on.
to.
Let me unserve a mute Max. There we go.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No worries.
What?
I know how to do that now, so it's not a problem.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Where's my
Okay.
notes? Where's my pen? Where's my pencil gone? Oh my god!
You don't write notes, that's the problem.
Everything's just,
Don't
look
discourage
over
his
there.
note writing. I am very much pro note writing. One thing to mention for those of you that were here last week is that I had written the session with a session name in mind as a result of how far I thought we'd get, and then we didn't get that far at all. So the session name made no sense and has been retroactively changed. So welcome to this session, the Timberlocked Tower. This is the only session that ever had that name, so don't worry about that otherwise.
Ignore everything that he just said. It's fine.
All previous
Yeah.
things were a lie.
Sorry, what was the last thing that happened? In
Basically,
the
the
last
missive
session.
handed over. We've got a new task.
Oh,
We're
shit.
serving under Arecia. Nemea's going to Asteros. And
Well,
then
this is where we're heading. We're heading west or northwest, isn't it?
We've got to
We're-
go set up a
we're
new.
looking-
Aren't you guys going northeast? And Asteros
we're
and Nemea are going northwest, I believe, because they've been, volunteered for their own mission.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because we're going off towards the Wandering Wood more, towards, like, if you can see on the map, this bit. Sort
Yep.
of.
Yeah.
We're going to set up a new base.
Yes. The intention is for you guys to head into the Wandering Wood and the various dangerous wilds that
Looks
are
like,
there.
Amy's already there, mate.
With the green screen.
That's true.
And
Do you
find a space
Keep it
big
running.
enough to create a like a hold point that the army can meet you at once the king's returned, to then serve as somewhere to push forward into the woods more so. So we didn't
And
say
then-
anything about Horseman yet. I don't know if you guys want to go over that.
We spent about 20 minutes with that whole discussion and how the horse is basically gone forever, never coming back.
Shut up.
Oh bollocks, I just deleted a whole bunch of shit out of the session plan because I was like, oh, none of this needs to be here. And then I realised it was last session's session plan, so oops.
And I think
Undo.
Arestia, like, paid
Ooh, I
the
wonder if I
guy
can
to
undo.
go find the horse, something like that.
I haven't yet. I've promised him 10 gold if he can retrieve the horse or find information about who bought the horse.
Yeah.
Undo totally worked.
Cool, and that's the last we're going to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep my 10 gold.
This is going to be a whole session.
I don't have 10 gold.
I just want to clarify that a number of times I was like, we don't have to do this whole conversation. The DM led the entire thing, was like, no, we've got to play this whole thing out. So that's not my
Do it
fault.
for the
That's-
RP.
It's top tier content right there.
That's what people come to the stream for. It's for
They
the
want,
horse.
they want to know what's going on with Adana.
Adana Watch is our primary
the Adana watch.
pull for the audience.
Oh, God. Right. Okay.
Okay, cool. Let me find some music. Probably should have done that whilst you guys were doing the recap, but I'm
so-
bad at this.
You were so
It's-
engaged.
Yeah, I know. It was
into what
so.
we were saying.
I was enraptured. I had to listen. All of the same shit comes up every time, and it makes it difficult to find anything. Let's go with this. Oh, bollocks. Now it's playing YouTube. Go away. Close, player. Also, the bot just won't loop. I don't know why. It hates to loop.
Because fuck you.
Yes.
Okay. The bot is at maximum capacity and will not play music, apparently.
Well,
Balls.
it's just very sad because we don't have Adana.
Yeah.
Fuck. That is not something I was prepared for. Let me see if I can try and get Rhythm Bot. So you guys had grouped up. I'll start without music. Oh, one point of order. Did we do XP? I'm almost certain the answer is yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Sweet, thank you.
Sweet. Oh,
Gets rid
yeah.
of that. Okay, so with the new mission decided, do you remember the specifics of what I told you, Aressia, in regards to what your mission was? Because I can dig them
from
out
what-
if you need them.
From what I gather, the gist of it was that we were going northeast ahead of the encampment to find new ground to set up a new outpost station so that the king can meet us halfway. Somewhere like that. He's on his way.
He's on his
In our
way.
direction?
I'm not sure whether or not he's coming back yet, or if you guys know whether or not he's coming back, or anyone in the military is certain of his exact location. But the intention is to find a holding point for the army to then move up to, and that is where they'll be meeting the king.
Okay.
The army is going to be following you at a much, much, much slower pace as a result of all the things they need to lug, deconstruct, and then move on. And you guys are being sent to find that place and brave the various wilds that you may come across until it's found. So, you basically have some time before you head out. You obviously are relatively familiar with the quartermaster in case you want to buy anything. Is there anything anyone wants to do?
I want some ration, but I don't want to.
I think me and Max went through all the buying or me and Vice went through all the buying stuff at the end of the last session. So I'm like content with what I've done and bought.
Yeah, I've got everything I need.
Yeah, and I have a good starting set.
Good stock.
Cool. Okay.
Take us
Check what we
into
got here.
another world.
The only way I could get music to play is to go back to the other bot, which I used to use. So now we have 2 bots.
Hey, rhythm.
Backup one for when the other one's not working. Ah, get out of my
Is
drink,
this
Mike.
secretly bin back here?
Not just yet. So you guys gather, having collected your things, and begin to walk off northeasterly away from the Stalva military. It takes a fair amount of time as you collectively go, and you realise that this is the first time in possibly years by this point, well, not years plural, but at least a year, that you have done anything like this without Nemea. Because despite her picture being on the stream, she is not with us at the moment. You have Aresia sort of leading you likely off to the front a little bit. And as you walk off into the distance after a few hours, the collection of the military behind you begins to fade out of your vision. Is there anything anybody wants to do as you are walking onwards?
So this is not free. This is not free time, is it? Is this
It
free
can
time?
be. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have everyone roll initiative, and we'll just go into downtime. And then if a conversation wants to take place as somebody's downtime or during somebody else's downtime as they're doing something more important as well, then I'm cool with that.
4.
Let's get the clock.
5.
Damn, Livia, that's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, I need the clock first.
I mean,
Oh, shit.
damn.
Shut up, you.
Why
Don't
do you
get
have
no say.
a little thing on your token, Sevi?
Oh no. Oh.
What's roll initiative?
It's to the left of your health.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The left of your
Course.
current
Yeah.
health.
So
Okay.
you roll a d20 plus 2.
You don't want to use the little dice thing. You just want to
I
type
got very confused.
/R space and then the letter D 20.
That's it.
You've
She's
done it.
done it.
Cool. Well, whoever rolled the dice, don't.
Wow, that's some serious initiative, boy.
If
Bloody
you-
hell.
If you
what's
hover
that at
over
the
the
bottom?
dice-
That's spice.
You can literally drag it onto the screen.
Yeah,
Got
Yeah.
very
but then it
confused.
stays on the screen.
What do you mean, drag what onto the
2,
screen?
3, 4.
Basically, you go to your roll
Oh shit, yeah.
and then do that.
Oh,
shit.
that's cool.
How do I get rid of it? Oh no.
You have to
Just
delete
delete
it
There you go.
because I think you can click it again once it's on the screen and then it
Does it roll?
rolls again.
No,
Oh, randoms. Yeah.
no, it becomes a token.
Nice 11.
How do
Yeah, you
I?
roll the token. That's weird.
Ah, there we go.
That's effort.
What, you throw it to?
Or you can right click it and say random slide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Random side.
Got 2 1s in a row.
Okay, fabulous. That's
That's all right, man. You got rid of all your ones. There you go. You're. It's nothing but nat 20s from here onwards now, Ulrich.
Amy, I'm going to skip you
Ah,
so that
Okay.
everybody else can do downtime and you can get a feel for what is more common. But if there's something you had in your mind that you wanted to do, feel free to bring it up anyway.
Okay.
I'm not going to skip you. I'm just going to put you last. So,
Okay.
Vice,
Yes, sir.
anything you want to do?
I'd like to practice cooking, please. My culinary skills.
Okay. do
No.
you-
No, I'm sorry, but today
You're not
you
cook
don't get
anymore.
any of my
Nobody
food.
eats today.
Nobody eats today.
We get your food.
You,
we just
you
put it
have
at the back.
you have your. Oh yeah, you have. Yeah, it's true. You do
Yeah,
get my.
that's true.
Yeah.
It doesn't like
exactly.
disintegrate
Shut up.
into dust.
You don't even know how it works.
You have rations.
Depends on the food and how you cook it. So, do you have a main, a side, and a flavor ingredient?
I do indeed, sir. I have 8
What
wild
are they?
boar. Let me get rid of one of those
Yep.
wild boars. Even though I'd love to just go up a rank straight away. Actually, I probably could.
It takes an hour to
Yeah, the time that we're going to be traveling is more than an hour.
yeah, but you
right?
can't stop to cook. So I'm going to say that this happened over, like, a couple days. or probably a day, whenever you guys rested for the evening whilst walking, this is going to be
Okay.
when you would cook, because you're not going to be able to
Okay,
cook
cool.
and move. You might be able to prep
Well,
some of it.
Well, I'm gonna go up one rank if I can, please, and just do 4.
You've got to
Can I
make
do
the
that?
roll first.
All right, yeah.
So
okay, cool.
what
Do I need-
ingredients
do I
are you
need-
using?
I'm gonna use 4 wild boar.
So it's just one wild boar to do it once.
Yeah, but can I
He
not?
wants to do it 4
Can I
times.
not try and go up?
Well, we're not passing 4 days currently.
You t-
I guess we.
If you
No,
say,
but theoretically,
if you say
he
no,
could be making 4 portions in one
4
meal.
portions, right?
Yeah, I guess, but it takes an hour, so that's 4 hours, which means you're not going to rest.
What?
It
Why
takes
would it
an
take 4 hours?
it takes an
No, but
hour
that-
to practice. It's written in the culinary artisan. It's the same way everything
It is-
works.
it
It's how the
is, it
professions
is.
work. So if you wanted to spend 4 hours at your rest point, which would be when you were going to sleep, then you can, but you won't long rest that evening.
Okay, well, let me just do it once then, so I'm not killing it. Yeah, let me just do it once. All right, so 1 boar, 1 potato, and 1 fennel.
Okay. So just remove one from each of those, and then what are you currently? A student?
I'm currently a student, which I shouldn't be.
Why shouldn't you be?
No, I mean, if I had understood this a lot better, I would have not have given buffs all the way, and I
You would have
done
been
more
practicing
practice,
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So you need to roll
Roll
a
a d20,
d20 plus
just-
proficiency, and you need to get a
Yes.
14. It only counts for 1 practice. How many points towards apprentice do you already have?
4.
4 because
no,
you
I've not practiced once.
But I think they
so
stack.
It's 4.
to practice you must spend
I
materials.
thought you practiced last session.
I didn't practice.
No,
No, the last one
got the
I
buff.
cooked for us. Yeah, everyone got the buff.
I swear we put somewhere that they stack, but I guess we didn't, but it does. So you're
It was
at
assumed,
4.
I think.
This would be your 5th. Yeah. So just d20 plus proficiency.
No. I'm at 0. I need 4 to.
If you're a student, you're at 4.
Yeah, so I need to work towards 12 to
You
become an
need
apprentice.
8 more. Is that right? Yeah. You need 8 more to
yeah.
become an apprentice.
Okay, cool.
So just consider yourself as at 4 for the sake of this. If you get this, it'll be 5.
Cool. Plus proficiency, yes.
So yeah, d20 plus proficiency. You've got to beat a 14.
yeah.
So you spend some time making this meal, your boar potatoes and fennel flavoring, and you make one of the nicest meals you've made in a long time. You feel like you didn't imbue it in any fashion as you were spending some extra time. This was a little bit experimental, so you've made a dish that you haven't really made before. Tastes nice. And you think maybe if you practice it a little bit more, you might be able to get something restaurant quality out of this.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that puts you on 5 total practices. So track that somewhere, probably as a single number, because if you do it in pips, you need to get to 100. So
Yep. Cool. I will track that.
yeah, cool. So Livia, what are you doing in your downtime?
I wanna collect herbs.
Okay. So, roll me nature or survival. What kind of herbs are you getting? Are you looking for any specific
Ideally healing
properties? Healing herbs. Okay. Herbs what heal?
Nature or survival? My survival is 5. Oh!
Nice. Okay.
Oh!
Damn.
Oh!
Damn, son.
Don't fuck around.
That's it. That's my only good roll
Let
all
me
session.
find what we've got
That's it,
here.
yep.
Okay, so you find 3 dried
Magical
ephedra.
bean. Oh.
I'll make a
3.
list.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have pressed enter. Hang on.
That's fine, don't worry.
Mm.
2 times Genko brush.
Is that leaves or 2 whole?
These are
ginkgo
uses.
brush? Okay.
So just enough to be used. It's just easier to work that way than it is to tell you
Yeah.
an amount and then you'd be like, okay, but I want to cut it in half.
Yeah.
Nope, you just have that many uses. Okay, cool. That's fine. And is this right? Amanita.
Ooh, I've not had one of those before.
Amanita cup.
Okay. So yeah, as I've written there, you recognise that the last one doesn't look as though it would have healing properties.
Not healy. But I don't know what it does do.
Yeah, you kind of picked it because when you touched it, there was like a kind of viscousy gloop to the exterior, and it numbed your fingertips a little bit. And whilst you thought that maybe this could be refined into some sort of like numbing agent, healing type property to lessen pain, you get the feeling that it would probably lessen pain to a certain area, but would
But it's not
likely
necessarily healing.
yeah, it would likely render the area entirely numb temporarily.
Ooh. I've put numbing.
Interesting choice, but okay. I won't judge.
Thanks.
Taryn, what do you want to do?
I want to just sort of practice with my magic a bit, because I feel like I've practiced with my quarterstaff. I want to,
You're a sorcerer after all.
yeah, I want to channel that inner lightning dragon.
So you just want to
So-
practice with your quarterstaff, see if you can...
Not the quarterstaff. I want to practice with my magic spell.
Spells.
Like, I'd be there like using witching bolt to try.
Okay,
And, you know, have a good time with that and stuff.
cool. So
So-
roll to hit 3 times.
Just flat D20 plus
Whatever your melee spell
Spell
attack is,
attack
because
bonuses.
Witch Bolt is a ranged spell attack.
Ooh dear.
Ooh.
Okay, so whilst you feel as though you've kind of nailed the spell, when you try to pinpoint accuracy fire it, you accidentally kind of shoot one off that just slams immediately into the ground in front of you. It kind of kicks up dirt at you. You get a little bit mussied up from it. But the time you spent with the successful shots did give you a bit of insight as to how to potentially improve the spell. So for the next time that you cast Witch Bolt, I'm going to say add 2 to the roll because you managed to successfully fire off 2 out of 3 shots.
Hell yeah.
And that's just until you next hit with Witch Bolt.
Yeah, that's cool. Do these like next attack things run out at any point? Because I've got the stuff for the quarterstaff still.
No, I
Yes, I
don't think so. Did we say that they run out at a long rest with Nemea's stuff?
No.
I don't think so because they're single use. Like they can't have more
they're
than one on one
activated when
thing.
It's used
Yeah.
as opposed to just dying off for no reason.
Like
They're not
basically
really
if you had
The most amazing thing in the universe. It's
No,
not, like,
exactly.
One hit kill.
Yeah, if
with
you had
thing.
if you had long enough, like with Max's stuff, if you had long enough and didn't sleep in between, because Max's buffs do end, like temp health ends and stuff like that, then you could basically like ramp yourself up to be as strong as possible before going into a big fight.
It's +2 to hit, yeah?
+2 to hit with Witch Bolt,
Yeah, that's cool.
and only on the next hit. It's gone after the next hit.
I've got them nicely listed.
Arestia,
Mhm.
what would you like to do in your downtime?
So, can I do anything at the moment with the Tinker's tool that I have?
So
Can I
the
do
Tinker's
anything with my
tool,
weapon?
they have some specific uses in the player's handbook. Let me just go to them. Tinkerer's tools. It's searching, but it's not finding. Might just have to search the word tinker instead. Yeah, no, it hasn't found it.
Yeah. Can only find it under the forest gnome, but they're quite specific to them.
Yeah, there's definitely here it is. Tinker's tools. It does not say anything. Oh, I think there's a bit in the next bit though. On the next page. Come on, you piece of shit. No, it fucked right off. Artisans tools, skyscraper, blah 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 blah. Thieves tools. Okay, fine. Bear with me. I'm thinking Tinker's tools is like trying to make stuff. Repair a disabled device, just like thieves tools can be used to disable devices. Improvise an item using scraps. This use of Tinker's tool opens the door to boundless creativity. What are they and how to use them? Let's see what this says. Yeah, so the core rulebook doesn't say a whole lot about them. There's some stuff here that's like trying to make some sort of clockwork toy. Try and make like a sort of flint device that could be used to start fires. Some kind of music box. Repair disabled devices. Improvise an item using scraps. Kind of MacGyver style. So you could try and investigate the meanings of an object. So you could potentially use the Tinker's tools on the box that Asteros had. If you knew about it, I'm not sure if Aresia knows about that box.
No, she hasn't been told.
Yeah.
Is that not with Asteros?
It is with Asteros, yeah.
Oh, so.
But if you came into contact with it,
oh, okay.
it's something that you would be able to use Tinker's tools on to potentially try and like dismantle part of it or something like that. So it's that kind of use.
Okay. Could I make some lockpicks or something
Yeah.
with them?
I would say to make lockpicks, you're going to need like a base metal to start with. Do you have anything metal that you could try and?
Let me have a look. Oh.
You could ask the group if anybody has anything useful like that you could try and turn into lockpicks.
Lyell definitely would have done because he's got a bunch of arrowheads that he just kept with him, but he in the grave, and they've probably been looted off his corpse. So.
Well, he was buried.
Do you know what? I won't.
I got nails.
I've got bolts.
I got nails for. You know what I have nails for? Nails and a hammer for. Do you remember when I got the nails and hammer?
I don't remember
No.
when you got the nails and the hammer.
What did you get them
No,
for?
so you guys don't know. Josh should know.
I
what
don't
got.
remember. I feel like I wish I do remember, but I don't.
Like Lael pissed me off so much.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember.
And so I got a bunch of. I went to the shop and got nails and a hammer so I can nail his door shut. But I never got round to doing it.
I'm not surprised.
It was when we had quite a mad fight, and Leo was being like all kind of funny and like not talking to anyone, just going up to his room all the time in the inn. I was like, I'm gonna go and freaking shut. I'm gonna go and nail his door shut.
A very broody boy.
Yes.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
I love that
yeah.
that's been like a secret for like so
Yes,
long.
yes. So just FYI.
Okay. All right then. So
if you do
Yeah.
ask, Vice would say that he has some nails.
I've got bolts.
yeah. Okay. All right. I'll just say ask. Yeah. Does anybody have any scrap metal that they don't mind parting with?
You have a bolt.
I have many nails for an undisclosed reason.
Oh, I don't know where these came from.
You have no more use of these nails?
I have no use. I mean, I might keep 4. It depends. So yeah, I mean,
How many can you spare?
I can spare you. Like I don't know, 4. Is that enough?
Yes, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Commanding officer sergeant.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant and I.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Pardon me. Sorry.
Know your place, young man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not used to these ranks. You see? Here you go, and I pass them over to you.
So
And as I take them from Vice, I blush a little bit and turn away before he can realise, at least try to.
roll perception for me, Vice.
Do I see that?
You can.
Oh, fuck's
You're not
sake.
directly involved. Yeah, you do, Olivia. Your passive perception's crazy high.
Yeah. I'm gonna glare.
You're always glaring.
Yeah, no, nothing. Shut up, you.
Yeah.
Your perception ain't shit.
My perception is 7. What are you on about?
26.
I'm
Mine's like 20.
They're reading shit.
No, it's not 20. No way is it 20.
Your passive perception is 20. He's saying his modifier is +7.
Well, no one cares about that though.
So, Vice, you
Oh wow.
you do catch this sort of momentary rosiness in the
Crush.
cheeks as Aresia turns away from you. Aresia, can you give me 4 rolls of just a flat
Ooh.
d20 plus whatever your proficiency bonus is, which I think is a +3 currently.
Yes, it is.
Very good idea about making lockpicks though. Like up until none of us have tried that.
Yeah, I've been playing Skyrim a lot recently, so it's like fresh in my mind.
my
When I've got wings, I don't feel like I need lockpicks. But you guys need lockpicks.
We don't all have wings.
Lockpicks won't get you in the door
Yeah, we don't
in our
know.
house. I mean, lockpicks.
Nice.
will
Yeah,
get
you
So
carry
lockpicks
on.
will
you
do
carry
that.
Oh,
on.
no, lockpicks will get you through the door. Oh dear.
Max don't
Okay,
give a
Aresia,
Damn you, Shabazz.
amidst your tinker's tools, you don't really find the right kind of tools to blacksmith-style hammer these picks into lock picks. You're sort of trying to splinter the metal in a way, if anything, that just creates like an offcut that you can then shape. And you waste 2 of these picks in the process. You then waste the majority of the last 2. Fortunately, with the scraps of the last 2, the kind of offcuts, you do manage to shape the largest offcut from each. What are they? Pegs? Are they pegs? Spikes?
Nails.
Nails. Sorry, nails. You managed to forge 2 lockpicks out of the largest offcuts of 2 nails, so you have 2 lockpicks.
Okay, awesome.
Sick.
Cool. Well, that kills enough opening time. That's good. Because I don't have a whole lot of content written out here. So, as you guys travel and carry out these various things, hunting for herbs, making lockpicks one evening, you travel for about 2 days. Pretty much the same sort of travel as it took you to get back from the spider place to the Starver military, because they've been moving up the whole time. You travel that distance back and you find yourselves at the edge of the forest. You go a further day in, and I need everybody to roll perception for me. I'm going to fast forward some fights so that we don't have to carry them out for the sake of it.
God, where is your mouse? Sorry, 2 secs. Where is the mouse?
Oh yeah, he has so many screens.
Oh, I know.
If you can't find it, it's probably on one of the like upper ones. Might be
I
on the
know.
upper shelf.
Okay, what was it? Perception.
Perception. It's the last, second to last thing under wisdom.
Yeah.
How many screens do you have?
He has.
Adam has 5, I think.
8.
What?
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Why?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 massive headlights.
He's also got the
microphone.
TV, which I'm pretty sure is hooked up to the thing.
Number 9. No, it's over here. It's on the TV stand.
Yeah. Oh, it's
My
not on the floor
lord.
anymore.
No, we got a TV
Ah,
stand.
fancy.
Up. Yeah.
We've moved up in the world.
Mm.
Now we can see Ark without looking downwards.
You can see at eye level, it's a whole new gaming experience.
So, Livia, this is the final day, so no resting once this happens, but throughout your making your way through the forest, you've come across various hazards. All of you are fully aware of the fact that leaving the main roads of Bela'Dun is a bit treacherous, but going into the forests, the woods, is suicide. It's just widely known that it's not a good idea, and that's probably why they sent you guys. And whilst Aresia is also here, somebody has to lead you, and I think in this instance she probably drew the short straw. As a result of this, you're attacked by some sort of bird at one point, Livia, that just swoops down.
Me specifically.
Yes, you specifically, as a
Okay,
result of your role. At different times throughout the forest, you guys are like approached by various creatures. Vice, you see a slightly larger, almost kind of coyote-looking dog type thing get kind of close to you, and you draw your sword and just cut near a branch, and it scares it enough that it runs away. Let's see, Aresia, you see what appears to be a much larger animal in the distance, possibly some sort of bear, and as a result, you circumnavigate its position, assuming that you've avoided its den, and as a result, the group doesn't come into harm. Taryn, you've been watching the trees a little bit, and it's as you're doing this that a bird swoops down, quite a large, seemingly bird of prey that I'm not sure what it's mistaken Livia for. It's not trying to like lift her off or anything, but it's I would say like a wingspan of like 2.5 meters. It's a pretty big creature. As it swoops down, it lands on your shoulder, Livia, kind of claws into your shoulder a little bit, but just scratches against the plate, and then manages to peck at your kind of like lower neck at the back. And like you're kind of scared by the fact that it lands on you at all, and that causes you to raise your arm a little bit. You instinctively grab your hilt as you do this, and as the creature bites down at you, you turn the sunblade on, or the blade of Solum. Probably shouldn't call it a sunblade because that's what I ripped off to make your actual item. It's essentially a sunblade. Doing so causes the bird to kind of quickly leave, but you do suffer 6 piercing damage. It's a big ass bird.
Yikes.
Also, it was just a d6.
Out of you.
Taryn, this scares the fuck out of you as much as it does Livia, and you didn't even take the damage. And it's at about this point, after the kind of fray of these creatures hounding you, that you start to feel something. You're not really sure what it is. Aresia, you feel fine. And as you 4 continue to make your way into the forest, I need everyone to roll perception again.
21. Very good.
Oh no.
24.
Okay, nice.
Ain't nobody holding me back today. That's 3 good rolls, though. Come
13.
on. Man, give it to me,
So,
man.
Taryn and Vice, at different times, as you make your way into the forest further still, and at this point, the forest that you've moved through is thick and dense. You've definitely not come across anything that resembles any sort of clearing that the Starver military could use to, like, hole up in. Just turning the bot down a little bit. Both of you at different times throughout this next day. Let me jump the time forward as well. So we're about 3.5 to 4 days in at this point, midday. Oh, that's not how you type. You both see something in the distance. Movement, not... Who rolled higher? So Taryn, you're not sure what yours is. You think that it's probably another creature, but it looks to be agile and yet a bit large. The movements, just the sort of rustling of the brush at a distance. Vice, you're almost certain that you possibly see something humanoid. Just the sort of glimmer of something. It looked like maybe something wearing some kind of leather armor disappeared off into the distance, and you just kind of caught the knockings of trees and things as you move on further still.
I would
Okay.
definitely keep the group updated on what.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
So that
Yeah.
they're aware that stuff is moving about. And
Yeah.
they should be careful.
I don't know. I'm gonna draw my crossbow and be like, guys, there's a like a humanoid. There was a humanoid, like kind of beast of some kind, like through the forest there. I'm not sure what it was.
Beast or humanoid? Which one?
I don't know. Like it looked like a human. Well, I could see a silhouette of a human, but I don't know what it was.
Humanoid
No.
doesn't always mean human.
It doesn't always mean human.
Has it sensed you yet?
I don't think so. No. Should,
Well, we
should
don't
I
really-
should I fire? Should I fire into the forest?
That's
Stay
not
your
actually
hands.
advice.
Well, no, because then it's going to point out where we are, surely.
Stay your hand.
How long has this thing been like noticeable? Was it just like a couple of instances? Or...
So you two saw different things at different times in different places. So there's no obvious connection from what you thought you saw, God, what you called these days, Taryn, to what Vice saw. I literally, my brain went, Lael, Elkus, these are both wrong. And then I had to, like, check roll 20.
Oh no!
I'm hurt.
Yeah, take this as a learning curve, Ulrich.
Stop
filling up your character.
You shouldn't have so
Stop
many
getting your
characters
characters killed
that they're difficult to remember.
or locked up.
Our characters be damned. This is between me and you.
Yeah.
I'm coming there.
So yeah, it seems like separate entities, the two things that you guys have seen. Also, can I have everyone make a dex save as the ground has become increasingly uneven? What was once grassland has become more sort of vegetation and roots. There's some swampier areas that you have to spend time moving around.
Oh, nobody can stop me. No one can stop these rolls.
DT? Oh, Dex.
I don't know what the T is. What's the T?
Just throw.
Oh, okay, thanks. If you'd have gone first, that would have been super helpful. Is yours the 6, Taryn?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I was confused about at this point.
I did say
So,
six.
Taryn and Livia, you both take 1 bludgeoning damage.
That's not good.
As you, at some point, are tripped up by the uneven terrain, the roots and outcroppings of the trees that you are near. It's just damage purely from smacking into the ground as you struggle to catch your footing. Vice, given that your roll was high enough, why don't you make me an acrobatics save, Vice? Not acrobatics save, that's not a thing. Just an acrobatics check.
Oh,
Okay,
no!
so you see both Taryn and Livia start to stack it, and in the moment of not really being sure who to try and help, and who would you pick?
Who would I pick?
Out of
Well-
potentially helping Taryn or Livia, you think you can maybe stop them from falling down?
Oh, naturally, I'm going to go to Livia.
Okay, so as you step towards Livia, you start to trip as well and just catch yourself, and just see her stack it. If anything, it looks like you pushed her, given how close you are.
What the fuck?
Nice.
Wait, I don't know what happened
Right,
there. Like and I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna walk away. My intentions were true, Livia.
As always, I'm sure.
They are always true.
So, as you carry on forwards, I need everyone except Oresia to make an intelligence save.
Oh, dude, come on, man.
Sorry, Oresia.
How
all right,
smart are you?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Bang! Bang!
Nice.
Ooh,
Oh!
I am intelligence.
Oh, that's +1.
Okay,
So
so
that's
17. So, Vice, as you kind of shake off the slight embarrassment of being accused by Livia, you see that Taryn in the distance has sort of just turned and seems to be moving in an entirely new direction. Taryn, you feel a growing sort of thrum from the forest. You're not sure what it is, but it intrigues you as you're inclined.
I start mumbling slightly because I'm like, this is intriguing. I need to start theorizing about some shit, so I'm just sort of like...
As you do, you start to immediately think about the kind of arcana-based potential natures of what might be giving off this sort of energy. Livia, you can feel it as well, but you weren't able to place it until you see where Taryn's going. And you kind of instinctively as well look that way, and you can feel as though whatever this low thrum is that Taryn seems to be possibly more in tune with right now, it is certainly off westerly from your current position. Vice, as this all clears, you start to feel it as well weakly. You're not really certain of the positioning of where this is coming from. Oresia, you feel nothing.
Right, so I turn to the group, seeing that they are distracted and looking offward, and just ask them all, what's the matter?
What's the matter? I mean, I'm totally fine, to be honest. It's that one over there that I'm a bit unsure about, and I point over to Taryn.
Have you has everyone else sort of stopped in their tracks, or are they sort of slightly hobbling along behind you?
Aside from the falling down of you two because of the crappy terrain, everyone was kind of, full march type walking, trekking through the woods. So I don't think anyone has particularly stopped dead. It's more a sort of walk and talk.
I would sort of just, in between the mumbling, just be like, deep hum, magic, possible danger.
You guys catch these tidbits of Common as he mumbles to himself.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone stop for a moment.
You're with a bunch of mad people.
I know.
One who gets attacked by animals and then can't hold herself up. The other one, the other one who's mumbling to himself.
His voice is in his head. All right.
As she says stop for a moment, I'm not too intrigued that I would just abandon a group of people. I know how dangerous this kind of place is.
Yeah, you're not it's not enrapturing you in any way. You're not blindly following this feeling. You can feel it.
I would sort of just stop mumbling too intensely, turn around as if to be like, yeah? What?
Private Parbus, did I hear you say possible danger? What is it you're sensing?
I can't quite tell the specifics of it. It's such a specific kind of feeling. Can you not feel it at all?
I can't feel anything.
Can I sense any magical inclination from Oressia at all?
You can roll Arcana.
Yeah.
Or Insight, your choice.
I think they're both the same. Go for Arcana.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, +5. So 17.
Let me check. So it's not an amazing roll, but you definitely sense some sort of magic on her. You kind of it's blurred, but you kind of sense something from high up on the top half of her, and then something else kind of mid-level. But it's sort of 2 points of energy. They're not necessarily coming from her so much as they are strangely emanating about her person. Two separate somethings giving off a magic aura.
I'd imagine she'd sort of notice me, kind of
I'd say so.
Down, but not like I'm looking at her, more like I'm kind of looking through her in a fashion.
Rude.
Just sort of, stroking my chin a bit, just what about you guys? Do you feel this at all? Is it just me? And then I just sort of mumble a bit to myself, am I going mad?
I feel something, but I'm not sure what.
I feel hungry. But I don't feel anything. I'll be honest with you.
You mentioned a low hum.
It's not like a particular hum. It's not in my eardrums. It's in the back of my mind a bit. It's like I said, it's such a specific feeling.
I'm going to turn to Livia and just whisper, "Is he okay?"
I mean, he's a bit odd, but I don't think he's wrong.
Not that old.
Odd.
Odd.
Oh, odd.
Odd. ODD.
I can't even say the word that I'm thinking.
See? Odd.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I mean, you got it. Come on, Taryn. You need to. Is it Taryn? Sorry, are we talking to the right person? Yes, Taryn.
Yeah.
Now you're just doing it on purpose.
Taryn.
You don't need to let go.
Come on. You need to. You need to tell us more. What is it you're feeling? Tell us. Tell us what you're feeling, Taryn.
Is it threatening kind of feeling, or is it just some kind of weird sensation?
Did you say, is it threatening?
Does it feel like it's a threatening kind of energy?
It doesn't have a discernible intent about it. It's just a thrum. You can feel it in your own sort of self as much as you can feel it somewhere in the forest. It's as if it's almost like you're there, but you can tell you still have some ways to go before you're there.
Taryn, can you feel it coming from a specific like direction or anywhere like that? You know, is it something that you can follow? I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling about. You know.
Yeah, I can get the general location of it.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah. Let's go that direction. Let's go towards the thrumming.
That all right with you, Lieutenant?
Absolutely. If there are any potential dangers ahead of us, we need to be aware of them. But I will ask you all to tread carefully and cautiously. No one is to jump ahead. Is to jump ahead until I give.
Mate, you wear this armor.
Mate, I wear slime
Oh,
armor.
right. You
I wear
can't.
slime
It's
armor.
too
I'm
heavy.
actually slipping all over the place here with my slime armor.
You fucking grip.
You're not wearing slime boots, fortunately.
No slime boots.
No slam boots
Okay.
for me.
No, he's got boots of
Sorry.
not falling down.
Sorry, Lieutenant. Sorry for the interruption.
Right. Private Barbers, lead on. It is Barbers, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Lead on,
He's Welsh.
What's that?
but quietly.
Well, wait, you think I'm Welsh?
Oh,
Alright. Alright.
Oh, Lord.
What's occurring?
So as you guys
Oh, weird.
head further into the forest, roll me another int save, the 3 that rolled previously.
Oh, man.
Aresia, you can roll a dex save.
I mean, that's.
Oh, I'm not too intelligent. Clearly.
12.
Was intelligence.
I could have told you that.
Oh,
Oh!
Oh,
Bad rolls all around.
That's fine. The previous dex saves were a DC of 10, so you made it. As you guys carry on through, Taryn, you start to lose the location. You can still feel the thrumming, and as you move towards the direction previously, it's building now. It feels stronger. You can start to feel it in your chest. It's like you're feeling your own heartbeat almost, but it has a slightly more of an intensity to it that you're starting to feel certain has some sort of arcanic nature to it. Vice and Livia, you two feel the exact same thing. Whereas you weren't fully in tune with it before, you're able to place it a little bit better now, and you can definitely feel as though it's simultaneously within you as it is somewhere within this forest, and the feeling of wanting to get to that place is starting to build inside of you. Livia, you kind of take a few steps ahead and not trying to consciously, but you happen to pass Taryn at some point trying to move towards this thing, and you carry on through.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Your whole neck is going to snap one day.
Oh,
Oh.
I hope we
didn't
catch
think
it
you guys
on
would hear
stream
that.
at the very least.
it was good. I felt the relief.
As you move through, Livia, you unwittingly take the lead and find yourself moving towards this origination point ahead of everyone else and sort of leading them at this point. It's at this point that Aresia slips on a brute and just about catches herself as she carries on walking forwards. 3 of you are all ahead, and in the background you just sort of hear like, shh, fuck.
Right. Seriously. Oh man. We should got like bike boots or something. I don't know if that exists.
What's a bike?
As the feeling gets stronger as
No,
well.
I mean spike
Oh.
boots.
Yeah, you can put spikes on
Like-
boots. Tinker's tools.
Oh, I got nails. I have nails.
Yeah, but you gave me 4, so you've only got enough for one shoe.
don't don't nail your shoe to the floor.
You mean hit it the other way, like because of my intelligence? Like, yeah, I'm going from the bottom up.
What about that bike?
Like,
I heard some guy talking about it in the market. It sounded great. Anyway.
That's brilliant. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, Taryn.
Sorry for
Oh
interrupting.
no, that's fine. Almost forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
You said you were feeling it stronger.
Yeah, as the energy sort of gets stronger, I would be slightly lowering my body, bringing a hand down to my side as if I'm preparing to fight something. Like, I don't expect it to happen, but just keeping my hand there in case something occurs, because I'm feeling a bit more wary. That's it.
Okay. Livia, given that you've taken the lead at this point and you're aware of it, are you doing anything?
Just following it, and occasionally sort of saying that I'm following it.
Okay.
I think I'd also like slightly come behind Livia and shoot a look back to Vice as well, because I don't think it's too far behind. Just like, do you have any sensory abilities? Anything that could help us as we get closer?
Who, me?
Who knows what it's going to be once we get there. I'd sort of be patting Livia on the shoulder saying this, and then, looking
Me
back
in
towards
this
Vice.
armor? You mad?
Sensory abilities, like, magic, anything.
I have no sensory
Armor be damned.
abilities, I'm afraid. Like, no, I'm afraid not.
No,
Fucking hell.
no, not about that. Sorry, I had a good old think. Nothing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Why are you laughing at me, man?
You're like, nope. None of that.
Closes
Oh, yeah,
cleric
healer,
spells
okay.
page.
DM,
I
how
was
far have we
thinking.
moved since Karen started sensing the panic?
So haphazardly throughout the forest, you've probably moved for another kind of half a day, and it's getting quite late at this point.
We moved half a day following that hum.
You've been just walking for several hours. Not like it's not midnight now, but it is like night of the same day. Yeah.
Okay.
How long have we been following this hum for?
Half a day.
I mean,
Exact,
sorry,
exact hours. You're not sure, but it was midday-ish when you picked it up, and it's getting
Oh
pretty
man, I
dark
thought that was
now.
like 10 minutes we were doing that.
No, sorry, I should have been more clear. You've been walking for several hours at this point.
Oh.
You're still just kind of grazing on the various like snacks and rations you
we have
guys
a
have,
mission,
making your way through.
goddammit.
Sorry.
You're kind of
Lieutenant.
fulfilling that mission at the same time, though, because
Yeah,
you
but-
are just
yeah, but-
moving further into the wood, and you haven't found a
sure.
single clearing yet.
Okay, so we're looking for a clearing of some kind.
The purpose of the mission is to find somewhere suitable as a holding
for us to
area.
Set up an outpost or something.
Yeah, essentially.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're looking for a clearing of some kind. So can we not I don't know, like I'm assuming there's loads of trees and stuff around us.
You
Can we
are
not, like,
literally surrounded by trees. Yes,
Can we not
You're in the wood.
climb up a tree?
you do
I'm
whatever you
just
want.
saying.
You really want to climb up a tree again, Vice?
Yeah, I
Is
climbed.
that what you're saying? Because
I
I'm up for
climbed,
that.
I climbed successfully last time. Thank you very
No
much.
one saw it. It didn't
He
count.
merely fell after climbing it successfully.
I mean, yeah.
I swear you fell out of the tree.
Yeah,
did fall
he
out the
climbed it though.
Oh no, it was
And then
the
fell out
wall.
the tree.
Vice,
I mean, if you want to go up. go up.
do you want to try and climb a tree?
I will try and climb a tree. Oh,
How
wait,
high
wait.
up are you trying to
Wait.
climb?
to the
'Cause
top of the tree.
You've moved deep enough into the forest
God,
now
no,
that
yeah.
all of the
Why are you
trees
looking
are.
Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
Okay, answer this question. Why are you climbing up the tree?
Yeah.
To look for an area where there's a clearing, right? Because that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
We're just walking around following some mystic hum that is not really taking us anywhere. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I hear it again.
I'm trying to be like,
So DM, did you say it was late?
Proactive.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah, I'm
late.
trying
It's
to be
quite dark.
proactive. Thank you. I'm trying to be proactive. I'm trying to stay on the mission and not follow some witchcraft. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you guys are-
Okay.
All right.
You said
Very well.
Nothing.
Climb your tree.
Find your tree.
find my tree.
Right. Okay. What, Josh? What environment are we in at the moment? What is our immediate surrounding looking like, aside from just trees everywhere?
So, outside of there being trees
More
everywhere, the ground is very uneven. Like, each step isn't really on the same level as the previous one, as a
Okay.
result of just the numerous roots kind of reaching out from all the trees nearby. As a result of some of it being sort of marshy and swampy, some of the footing, even when you do get on the same level, is like squelchy and uneven still. Even in the drier areas, it's very uneven the same. You could probably reach your arm out and touch a tree at any one point.
Okay.
You're moving through and around this cluster of forest at this point, to a point that you're pretty much surrounded. I don't know how successful. I mean, firstly, I don't know how successful getting to the top of a tree is going to be. These trees are probably about
wait.
50 to 60 feet tall at this point, I'd say. Yeah, probably about 50 feet tall.
This is where Vice dies. Like,
Can you not just climb high enough to be able
Also,
to see it?
as
Can
Aresia
I-
pointed
can I-
out earlier, I did mention that it's gotten quite late. It's almost sort of
Yeah.
middle of
You're gonna get
the
eaten by a
close-
giant bird up there.
close to the
Should
middle
we-
of the night.
All right.
It doesn't matter. It'll be going for you anyway. Should we should we just set up camp or something? Or sorry, because if it's getting dark, then should we not set up
Let's
camp?
make hammocks.
We yes,
I mean,
we
I'm-
should. However,
am
look
not.
at the terrain. Look at the terrain. Where on earth are we going to be setting up our tents? Where are we going to put everything? This ground is not level. It is swampy. It is marshy.
Fine.
Up
But-
the tree.
I'm gonna go up the tree.
Get
I'm
up
gonna go-
there. It's your
I'm
suggestion.
gonna go up this. I'm gonna go up the tree. And
Okay.
Nice.
But before we go up the tree, I mean, I go up the tree.
We. There's no we, mate.
No,
What's
you got.
that?
Well, before I go up the tree, could
Could we lay out a
do we have Sorry, do we have like a compass? Does anyone have a do they exist in this
Compasses
world?
exist.
Does
I
anyone
do
have
not
a
have a
compass?
compass. No.
Do we know that we're going in the Do we know that we're going in the right direction?
I thought we were just 5 minutes following that hum. I didn't realise that all day. I would have said no. Otherwise.
Well, you weren't.
Like,
Yeah, you were following the thrum, but at the same time, you
We
were
also
just
don't know where we're going.
sort of
so we might
moving
as well follow something.
northwesterly.
Yeah, we just
as
got-
far as you're aware, you were just sort of moving northwesterly. So you have like
Okay, so we haven't gone off track. We're still in the vein of.
we're not going
the
backwards.
only kind of discerning factor you have in terms of are we moving east, west, south, or north is that presumably moving a direction northward would result in a bigger buildup of trees, which you have come across. So you
Okay.
you can discern that you are at least moving northward. Whether or not you've continued northeast or have started to move northwest, you're
Where
not
is this-
certain.
does the sun work the same way as it would in?
It does, yeah. There's
Why
there's
are
a
you
single
laughing?
sun.
I'm
It
trying
does.
to-
It
I'm
works the
trying
same
to-
way.
It's so valid. It's so valid, but it just sounds ridiculous. Does
Right,
the
so-
sun
so-
work in the same way?
I don't know if Bela'Dun's
Right.
like, you know.
Yeah.
So where is the sun setting relative to where I am, where we are?
As far as you're aware, you don't know. Firstly, because it's not daytime. Secondly,
No, but didn't you say we're losing light?
no,
You
it's
said
it's late.
dark.
It's late enough that it has set.
Okay.
Oh, shame. Okay.
Sounds
I-
so
Well, then climbing up the tree is not going to give me
All
any.
right. Aresi is going to speak up.
Probably not.
All right. We have wasted enough time chasing this low hum that Parvus and Lightwood have claimed to her.
It's an
Now I'm
important
wondering
hum.
if it was. Well, we have yet to find any humming or thrumming or whatever it was you were calling it. We need to stop and make camp. We have been up since the crack of dawn. This terrain is not suitable for camp. We need to find some quickly. Now, who is the most light-footed among you three? Who's the most, most athletic?
The Mofa, yeah, it's probably going to be me. No, not athletic. Sorry.
All right, light
Hey,
footed.
yeah,
Who's the most
yeah.
agile?
Acrobats, yes.
teddy bear.
Acrobatic? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Teddy bear.
Private Kavanaugh, I'm going to assist you.
I could do backflips. You know. I hope you know. Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
You can't. That's a lie.
Yes,
With
I
all those
can.
pots of pants.
I ran up the body of a snake. If you don't remember,
I don't.
That happened.
that happened.
That's a
I
lie.
ran up the body of a snake, a giant snake, and
Not,
stabbed it in its
not
head.
the
No one
entire
remembers
length
that.
of the snake, but
Josh, give this to me. Like, this is a conversation between.
To be fair, Leo
Alright.
jumped right over it, so
There's just no evidence of that.
Well, Leo's
so-
dead. You know, Leo is dead. All right.
you see, they say they missed him, but they don't care about him at all.
I buried him. That's enough.
it was a while ago.
Well,
To be
for that.
fair,
Rude.
it was a while
Alright.
ago.
Right. So sorry, Luntella. What would you like us? Sorry.
Private Kavanaugh, I will give you a leg. Can I give him a leg up?
Yeah, you can certainly
Give him a
try.
leg.
Oh wow. Okay, not even the subordinates. Okay, sorry.
All right, so I'm going to give you a leg up. I want you to get as high as you can and survey the area and see if there is anywhere nearby that is suitable for us to set up camp.
In the dark.
Actually, I've got night vision. I should be able to see this, John.
Dark vision.
No!
Night
Dark
vision is a
not
separate
night
thing.
vision.
What do you mean? It's nighttime.
No! But you don't have night vision, you have dark vision.
What's
Oh,
the...
So
Same like dark vision, night vision. You know?
Dark-
It means you can see like 30 feet in grey on what grey on
yeah,
white.
so
It
dark
doesn't mean
vision
you
is a
can see
thing that's
everything.
usually inherent to some races. I don't think it's humans. And it gives you the ability to see perfectly in the dark up to 30 feet, but it's in total grayscale. For an additional 30 feet, you can see as though it is dim light.
in black and white.
Okay, let's not.
Yeah,
waste
it's all
any
in
time.
black
Let's
and
just get on- Let's just get on with this. Come on.
Oh,
Yes,
now he
please,
wants to get on.
please, Lieutenant, help me up this tree.
Okay, so
Okay.
I need you to make a acrobatics or athletics check, Vice. And given that Aresia is assisting you, you have advantage.
Hooray!
This will be to
Oh,
climb the first 10
hilarious.
feet.
Uh,
You have advantage.
okay, right, I got advantage. So let's forget about that one.
Yeah, we'll use the second that one. Hey, there we go.
Yes.
So, with the leg up, you managed to reach 10 feet almost instantly because the two of you standing each other is going to be pretty easily. With the nat 20, you managed to get about 25, 30 feet up.
25, 30 feet up.
Yeah, you can carry on climbing if you want, but at this height, you can't really see much more than what you were seeing from the ground.
Okay. Do you want me to- Lieutenant, I can't
I don't
really
think
see
she
much.
can give you another leg up.
No, I mean, I don't want a leg up. I mean, I can't really see much more. I'm going to continue to move up the
Well,
tree.
I mean, if you want to, you could roll perception.
No, but didn't you say I can't see anything?
I said you can't see much. You can roll perception, and I'll take your roll to see how much you can see at 30 feet.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, that's good that we got 30 feet off the ground.
17, yeah.
Well, he
I
climbed
mean,
a bit
yeah.
extra after, but the sort of
I know, it's
leg
still
up gave him the momentum to get that far. So you can see there is a nest about 5 or 6 trees down. It seems to be housing some smaller birds. It looks like it has some eggs in it.
All right. That's it.
That's about
all
it
I'm
at
doing.
30 feet. Everything else is trees.
All right. I'm gonna carry on going up.
I see trees.
So give me another acrobatics or athletics for the next 10 feet.
Oh Lord. Okay.
About
One,
20 trees.
14.
Okay.
14.
Struggling, you manage to go up about another 10 feet. And at this point, you can see the tops of some of the trees nearby. Roll me perception again.
God, why you lot got me up in trees, man?
Okay.
17.
So it looks like there's a fair build-up for the foreseeable future. You can't see any sort of give of enough of the trees to suggest that there is a large clearing anytime soon. You suspect that having walked for like a day or two into forest, you're probably a day or two out of any sort of clearing. You can carry on higher up if you want to see further, or if you can see more specifically. Anything else?
I want to go
Your
up.
choice. You can if
I
you
want
want
to go up if I
Okay.
can. I mean,
Give me
You're allowed to
acrobatics
do that
or
one.
athletics.
Can I shout down to the bottom and say,
I'm going to shout up to him and to say, careful!
guys, could you like make sure that someone's ready to catch me? Just in case.
No.
I feel as though this is gonna happen. Okay, can
I
go
hope
up
it
another?
happens. Yeah, make another acrobatics or athletics check with disadvantage as the tree reaches its peak. It is not the solid, girthy trunk that it once was.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
no.
Josh, why are you doing this to me, man?
So,
I also.
I mean, I feel like this is your choice.
Yeah.
say that again,
Well,
Taryn.
like,
as
we got
this
nowhere to
is
camp.
right?
And what are you guys doing?
Watching
gave
you
you a
is
leg up.
hilarious.
As this is all happening, I'm using the cantrip dancing lights to sort of keep the area around us illuminated.
Okay, cool. So you guys can all sort of see what's going on down at the ground level, which is helpful because Vice slips and manages to catch himself On a 7, it's not a 2, it's a 7. That's what I need to keep in mind. So he slips down about sort of 10, 15 feet, manages to sort of half catch himself and falls the rest of the way. Fortunately, his height means that he's only going to take the damage for 10 feet's worth of fall damage. But I rolled high on the first and a high-ish on the second. You take 10 bludgeoning damage, Vice, as you fall to the ground. If you want to do something reactionary, you can.
Reaction-wise.
What do you want to do?
so
If it's
funny.
an
I want
action
to
to
heal
cast,
myself as I'm falling. Yeah.
it does not take 6
You don't take
seconds.
the damage till you land. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna hurt.
So, as you fall, you burn the slot. What are you doing to heal yourself?
Oh, can I not drink a healing potion?
You can.
Oh, I can.
Idiot.
There you go. Look, I can.
Gravity's just gonna make it
What do
fly
you mean?
up.
I was gonna take 10 damage.
But you don't take the damage until you hit the ground.
But I'm gonna hit
On
the
your way
ground.
down, you've got full health, you idiot.
Yeah, no, he's
gonna
committed
hit-
to it though. I need a con save.
You said I take 10 damage.
Yeah, when you hit the ground, it's fall damage.
Right. No,
I think
no,
a con
no.
save's probably not right.
No.
Oh, it is
I'm
too
not-
late.
I
It
am
is
not drinking
too
it.
late, my friend.
No, no.
Give me a dex save to hold on to the potion mid-air. It doesn't take 6 seconds to hit the ground, so you might roll well enough that this thing is basically in your mouth as you take the damage.
You needed that 20, man, otherwise you're fucked.
He begins to fall, catches some branches, they snap, he reaches for a potion on his belt, pulls the cork, goes to put it in his mouth. He's about ground level as the flask is
Oh,
like
so
basically
bad.
at his lips. Dex save, come on. If you roll high enough, you're gonna drink this thing having no. So
You're so fucked.
what's the damage of just like being hit by an improvised weapon?
So many. All of them. Everything.
Because what happens is, it's like twofold. Firstly, you land on your back on the ground, suffering 10 bludgeoning damage. Secondly, you basically punch yourself in the face with a glass vial that's open as healing potion just spreads. And it kind of mixes in with the blood coming out of your nose. It's just like a confusion of red liquid. Just trying to see how improvised weapons work. Improvised weapon.
Okay.
Any object you can wield with one or two hands, such as broken glass, which this is.
Alright.
There's,
Is he on
uh,
the ground now?
an object that bears no resemblance to a weapon deals 1d4 damage. So, Vice, roll a d4, and you will take that much piercing damage as you basically cut your own face with a smashed health potion. So you take 2 further piercing damage.
How much damage
Yeah,
total
that's
is
fine.
that?
12.
please?
12.
Alright, is he on the ground now?
He's on the ground.
Am I on
He now has
Alright.
as
I'm
the
going to-
liquid flows down his face, he cuts himself a sort of fancy looking one-sided blood mustache on his face, which as a result of the healing properties of the liquid quickly kind of closes up. But he suffers this
Right.
12 damage nonetheless.
I'm going to. I'm going to run over to the ground
I'm gonna
And kneel
follow
down
up,
to him.
laughing.
and kneel down to him, and just with a look of disbelief, I'm going to say, "Why would you use a potion like that?"
I also walk over and I just stretch out an arm and just sigh.
Oh, can I lean over him? Like,
Hang
I
on,
wanna do
hang
it.
Sevi, hang on. Let Ulrich finish what he's saying. Go on,
I
Tad.
just reach out my arm to help him. I just give him a look of like, what?
The fuck? I'm on my back.
Alright.
Olivia leans over him at this point. I thought
Alright.
you were saying you were going to heal him, Darren.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna,
am
I'm,
healing.
Oh, okay, good to know.
I am going to lean over him and stare in his face and be like, I am not healing you. And then walk off.
I have outstretched my arm to help him up though.
Okay.
I'm laughing. the whole way.
Kavanaugh. Private Kavanaugh, how are you feeling?
Sore, I imagine.
like,
I think. Like, what did you see while you were up there?
Nothing.
Trees.
What do your stupid eyes see?
Yeah, no, I saw nothing when I was there, Lieutenant.
Nothing.
I saw my life flash before my
No, that was just a potion.
That's all I saw, Lieutenant.
All right.
You do not deserve any heals.
I will call after Livia. Private Lightwood,
Oh, fine.
back.
Oh, the
I
light.
need you to heal this man. We're a small team, and we.
But it's self-inflicted.
The light.
He followed the.
Please.
I just say, come on, and I stretch my arm once more to get him to grab it and actually get himself off the ground.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna reach my hand up and then take your hand like. Thank you.
I'm gonna-
I'm not going to
All right.
arbitrarily
I'm
roll
gonna
getting up.
Put my
You
hand.
put me up. I'm like, yo, that was nothing.
I'm gonna put my hand on Vice's shoulder, and I'm going to tell him, I need you to rest. Sit down and lean against this tree.
Okay.
Private Lightwood, I'd like you to heal.
Okay.
Oh, but he
Aches
so
and
doesn't
pains.
deserve it.
What do you mean I don't deserve?
As I said, we need.
Look at me.
Look at you! You climbed up a tree! You fell out of one like a week ago, and you were like, Connor, I'm gonna climb up a tree!
Like,
I know I fell out of them, but it's fine.
We are a
Please.
small unit, and we need to all be at full strength in order to move effectively.
Oh,
Private Lightwood,
fine.
no more
I'm not at
arms,
full
please heal
strength,
him.
and yeah, I gotta heal his ass because he climbed up a tree. Fucking moron.
Please.
That is an order, Private. Heal him. This is the last
I
time.
will heal you, but you owe me a fucking sandwich.
Okay.
Oh, we can't healing word. He's not getting cure wounds.
Okay.
Wow.
Roll 'em.
Just enough
Oh,
to
that-
jizz him up. Right, so that failed. We have
Fucking
You have
nothing.
6 health.
oh,
We have
man.
nothing in the immediate vicinity that is going to help us, so we'll have to make do with where we are.
Why didn't we make that decision first?
Because it's less than I'll be honest with you, Private Kavanagh. I've never ever seen a man take such a reckless jump. Not one. Twice. I would have stopped at the 30 feet. But I admire your dedication.
I do not.
Come on,
Right.
surely that doesn't, slightly impress you, Livia. Come on.
What I think is, you know that we need to get that hen for the eggs. We also need to train it to scout for us. So you can stop climbing fucking trees.
Right.
Oh Lord, we need some sort of flying companion to do this for us,
If only we had one.
right?
I reminisce of a
Oh my
wizard I
God, Livia, you've got wings. Why didn't you just? Why didn't you just fly up there, Livia? Like,
Way too much fun watching you.
all of that pain, I just went through.
Oh,
like-
you man, shut up!
Yeah, I know, but we both lost out when you could have just flown.
I'm not wasting my wings to fly up there where you can climb.
Wait a minute. I was about to sit you down because I thought you were being delirious, Kavanagh. Like, what, you have wings?
Only momentarily, about once a day, and then my brain's like kaput.
Well,
I'm
no,
saving it for
literally-
important occasions, not climbing trees.
We're not. It
My
was.
strength is important.
The whole point. The point was not just to climb the trees. I was not trying to be like, oh yeah, I want to have.
Oh, look at me, I'm a
laugh.
monkey.
I just want to get up there in the trees. No, it was to
That's
help
exactly
us.
what happened.
All right,
wait,
guys.
one moment. Taran. Private Parbus.
I'm pretty sure arguing about this isn't really going to get us anywhere. Whether or not you have wings, it's regardless of that. Who gives a shit?
He is
There's some dry
absolutely
stuff
correct.
over that way. I've been looking around while you've been faffing about here.
Oh,
Over there in the park.
faffing about. Oh, okay. All right.
Don't.
What have you
just
done?
call.
What have you done, Taryn? In the time
Right.
that we done, other than mumbling.
Enough.
Right?
Enough.
Follow me and I'll show
Enough.
you.
Your lieutenant is speaking. Enough of this childishness. Enough of this foolishness. Private Parbus, you said you saw something. Well,
Follow
they
me
were
and I'll
having
show
their
you.
scuffle.
And I just sort of turn off and just.
you will
plod.
go nowhere.
He already did.
Same
I just
here.
wave my hand. I'm walking over to the dry area. I've said where things are. Standing around and arguing isn't really going to do much.
Right.
He's not like full sprinting, more just sort of exasperated, turns
Meandering.
and makes his way towards what he claims to be
Right.
his dry ground.
Kavanaugh, can you move?
He's fine, and I'm gonna follow him.
Off we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, I mean, and I just get back up on my feet because that didn't do anything to me. Come on.
You already feel fine.
Yeah.
So... Olivia, did you roll your? You did. It was 6, so he recovered.
6 health, man.
Yeah, he recovered
More
6
health than
health.
I have right now.
Who's got more health than you?
So
You twat.
I got yeah. I mean, how much did he heal me? Sorry, 6.
Yeah.
Olivia, Vice, roll an intelligence save with disadvantage. Taryn, give me an intelligence save.
Intelligence save.
You didn't need to heal
Yes,
me. By
intelligence
the way,
save.
Livia.
I
I'm
did.
just-
She made
no.
me.
Yeah, okay. No, I get that. I get that.
Oh, now you get that.
No, but you didn't
Oh.
need to. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Is this you saying thank you, Vice?
Nope.
Vice,
Carry on.
int save, disadvantage.
Yeah,
Int
Vice.
save, Int save.
Amy, I did not orchestrate this to like leave you out. I just want you to know that there is a reason you're not rolling. I'm sorry.
Wait, hang on. My
Killing me off
intelligence-
early. Joining Lael.
Disadvantage.
Also, I wrote this reason weeks ago, so it wasn't. I was like, "Oh, Amy's internet shit. Maybe we need to write her out." This was pre-planned. Taryn, was yours the 19?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But
So, yeah, thank you. Vice. As Livia lays into you a little bit more, seemingly having entirely disregarded the kind of building thrumming feeling she could previously feel, she can't feel it all at the moment. She's too focused on the sheer stupidity that is your requirement for healing. You, however,
That is you.
have been like sort of half-heartedly arguing back, less and less focused as the conversation's gone on, as you feel this, as I described it to Taryn, Jumanji-esque style beating begin to build within you a little bit.
I was going to freaking say that
Yeah.
earlier on.
The thrumming kind of overtakes you a little bit more, and you really kind of like turn your head, sort of meerkat style. You kind of catch like a quick pinpoint destination of it, and you know where it's coming from. And as you look that way, Taryn is already looking that way and has sort of half left his path towards drier land a little bit, and is kind of making his way towards that direction almost unknowingly. Again, not as though he's been overtaken in any fashion, and Taryn, you don't feel enthralled in any fashion. You just feel this strange thrum from somewhere in the forest, as if it's almost you doing it at this point. And you kind of move towards it once more.
as I feel this, I say Lieutenant to get Adresia's attention,
Aresia.
and I just say Lieutenant, the beating. It's close.
As he says that, I place one hand over the hilt of my left sword.
Okay. As you got, what do you do? You carry on moving? You staying where you are? It's up to you guys.
Which direction do you feel the thrumming? Sorry, this is like out of character.
You're asking me?
I'm taking notes.
So you're not really sure of your own direction at this point. You don't know which way you're facing, but you feel it coming from a place that you can see is slightly more a built-up wood. So you assume it is northernly at the very least. Whether that's northwest, north, northeast, you don't know. You guys haven't done a great job of orientating yourselves in this woods. When you were up the top of the tree, you looked across the forest to find a open space. You didn't look all around to see if you could see sort of where you came from or anything like that.
I mutter under
Why
my
did
breath.
you do
I
that,
knew where I
Mike?
came from when I was coming down.
Right.
So what are you guys doing?
Right, you
I'm
said
not doing anything right now.
Parvus. Is it getting stronger?
Sure, I'm just having a quick munch on my chocolate bar.
I mean,
What's
canon.
chocolate? What is that?
Chocolate exists.
sounds delicious.
Oh, chocolate exists.
Chocolate
Oh,
exists,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Is he getting stronger?
Yeah. And I would be ready. And there'd be like a slight crackle of electricity between my fingers because I'm like itching for something to happen.
Right.
Like there's been this much build up and the beating is getting more intense, so I'm just there like ready.
At this point,
Lightwood,
it's
you're-
about
Oh, sorry.
it's about like almost midnight on the day that you guys traveled in. You know that it was the 19th of dawn when you started walking in, and it's been several days since then of walking through plains and then forest. I'm gonna. Yeah, none of you have like a mini map, or I don't. Who has the actual map? Does any one of you have the map?
Lael had a map,
I thought Lael had the map.
and that was it. Nobody took it off him.
Yeah, I thought so.
He got another one.
Oh,
sent.
But they
God.
won't let us.
Livia, you buried him. You buried him with the map.
Yeah, no one has a map. So let's have
And the mayor
everyone.
just burnt down a house.
Everyone
What's
give me
gonna upset us?
nature or survival. Actually, do
Also,
you know what? This is just
You're a
survival. Give me
lieutenant.
survival.
Why don't you have a map? A map.
A chicken
Or a
wrap.
compass?
Where's your fajita? Everyone survival. It's not a choice, just survival. Nature doesn't make sense for this.
What was that? What is that? Is that a nat
It's a good
20?
ass roll, is what that is.
No, that's shit. That's what that
Yes,
is.
there is only 4 of you. Okay, so Vice and Vice alone. You, having spent some time walking, sort of sheepishly shrugging off the falling incident of roughly 30 minutes ago, you think about it as people are sort of mumbling under their breath, like there's a little bit of back and forth as you guys walk, and the conversation of a slight confusion of how long you guys have been walking comes up. And from leaving the Starvin military, like literally the edge of the Starvin military, to where you are now, it's been 5 days.
Okay, so
It's 2 days to get to the forest edge and kind of close to where that mine would have been if you were going in that direction. You've walked a further 3 days into the forest at this point.
okay. Well, this is not good, is it? Like,
It's also almost the end of the 5th day.
okay.
But
What do you?
you do also feel the thrum of this energy somewhere in the wood,
Oh my lord!
seemingly
Can I
where
still
Taryn
feel
is moving.
nothing?
You can't feel anything, Oressia.
Okay.
Can nobody detect magic here? Sorry.
See those eyes?
Spells exist in world. The idea of like the ability to detect magic, or even specifically a detect magic spell, is not like out of the question.
Can
Does
anyone
Vice
do-
specifically say that?
Yeah.
Yes,
I would assume so.
do.
I would say, well, I'd assume not because I specifically asked about sensory abilities earlier.
You did. You did. I can't
mean-
argue with that.
I have detect magic, but what you guys don't get is it doesn't. It's not like, oh,
I
let me
get that,
sense. Oi, shut up before I'm talking. It's not like, oh, let me sense this magic that's 5 hours away and what it is and what it's doing. It reaches like 30 feet
No, but
and
you
gives
could
me
at
very
least
little
look-
information.
But at least maybe it could give you a sense of direction.
Yes, but I have to save my energy for when people fall out of trees and I have to heal them. Or I could just use detect magic spells when we're miles and miles and miles away. That gives me nothing information.
Well, you don't know that for a start, Livia.
do know
You
that.
don't know that it's not going to give you any information.
I
And
do.
second of all, we've traveled long enough for us to not care. I don't care about what I use in relation to these slots. You know,
How exhausted you are in terms of your abilities.
I about that. Come on, like we're
Right.
here. We're a team. We're a team.
I think it's fair that if we can sense something that's not close and that's very far away, that I would conserve my energy because we might come up against something that requires me to have that energy.
But
More
we're
than just.
But we're
But it's not going to
wandering.
tell
We're
me. What's it
wandering
going to
a
tell
wood.
me? It's going to
now
tell me,
five-
yes, that
we're
it's magic.
5
We
days
know
in.
that.
We're 5 days in,
Right,
Lieutenant.
but we only found
Lieutenant-
this today.
Come on, Lieutenant. No, today we're 5 days in. Well,
Right,
we-
yeah, but we've not
we-
been following the thrumming for 5 days.
Yes, we have.
No, you haven't.
No.
Josh, Josh, did you just change your background?
I did
Josh,
change the
oh, you
map,
did.
yes.
How long have
Sorry.
we been following the thrumming?
About 2 days, 2.5 days.
Oh, okay, but still 2.5 days.
What? No, that doesn't make sense.
We
Josh. You just said we fell out of a
Two-
tree.
Sorry, from whenever I said it is whenever it is. You were at the edge
I'm
of the
so
forest 2 days in. It was my bad.
Yeah.
Forget that. You were in the forest 2 days in. You carried on moving for a number of days. The exact timing is this is why I don't give hours very often. The exact timing is a little bit weak. We said it's been about half a day, right? So it's
Yeah.
Okay.
it was about
And now we're getting into
midday
the
on this
evening.
day. Yeah, now you're almost at the end of this day, so it's been about 11 hours
Okay.
total.
Okay.
My
Oh,
bad.
following
I'm
this
sorry.
hum.
No, it's not 11 hours of following the hum, but it's been 10 to 11 hours of feeling the hum and moving on forward into
Okay.
the forest still.
Well, okay, all right, okay. Right. Enough of this. We have wasted enough time. We have gone on what seems to be an errand with this humming. Unless anyone can see or sense anything in the immediate area that we need to take action on, we need to set up camp, we need to rest, we need to conserve our energy.
Taryn,
Yeah.
at this point, you see what is mainly on the left-hand side of this map, as this is essentially your surroundings.
Okay.
Hello?
That it, just I see it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do with that what
Okay.
you want. Nothing
It's 'cause
is an
you're-
option, I suppose. It's probably the
The way you were
shittest
saying
one.
it felt like it was building up more. I was
Yeah.
No, it's up to you. I'm not there.
as I see like this thing, like mid sentence, I'm like Lieutenant, and I just point over that way.
You are
Like a
literally the
sort of
two
nonchalant,
silhouettes in the image at this point.
Fair enough.
So, okay, so he's pointing at a door.
Appears to be.
Is that where you're sensing the humming from, Parbus?
Seems that way.
I mean, despite it's a door in the middle of the forest, but yeah.
And the two of you collectively group with the other two at this point, and Vice and Livia, you too can see this ominous, attached to nothing doorway, and you are certain that that's where the thrumming is from. Livia, as you spend some time reacclimatizing yourself with this feeling, it comes through once more, and you too can recognize that it's definitely coming from over there.
It's definitely coming from over there. That humming.
How far away are
Oh,
we from the
please,
door?
don't make me climb any more
30
trees.
to 40 feet?
30 to 40 feet. Right. Lightwood, Parbus, as you are both magically inclined, do you detect anything sinister from that doorway?
Do we?
Feel free to roll Arcana.
Cool.
Unless you want to use a specific spell.
24.
No, I don't want to use a specific spell.
I wasn't aiming that at you. Vice and Livia, you do the same. She asked you two, not Taryn. Taryn rolled anyway.
Oh,
No, didn't I ask Parbus and Lightwood?
Oh, did you? Sorry. Then,
Yeah,
then,
then that's
then
Vice.
not Vice. Unless you want to discern the
Wait,
same
is it
having heard the
Arcana?
conversation. I said Arcana, yeah. I think I did.
Oh,
I hope I
I
did.
saw the number for history, not Arcana. -3 off that, so it's 14.
Okay, cool. Vice, having overheard this conversation, do you want to try and discern the same, or are you just sort of looking at it at this point? Your choice.
No, I'll just look at it.
Okay. Taryn, this is the strongest single magical essence you have felt outside of some of the greater magic that a friend of yours once wielded.
there's a sort of like shudder underneath my breath of just like the intensity of it. Just like a oof. That's quite strong kind of thing. So is it just intense, not
It's
like
intense.
any
It's not necessarily malicious or well-meaning. It harbors no emotional attachment at this point. It's just strong.
I would like not specifically looking at Oressia. I'd be very like fixated on the door. I'd just be like, it's quite an intense, powerful magic. If it's sinister, it's really bad. If it's good, well, be quite interesting. It's nothing I can really discern though.
Okay. Going to turn to Livia and ask, and what about you? Can you detect anything from the door?
Livia, this seems to be a point of great magic. It's not the kind of magic you would normally associate yourself with. It does not seem divine in nature. However, there's definitely something to it that belies certainly a power. It doesn't scare you. You guys are pretty powerful. Sorry to cut you off. You guys are pretty powerful. Whilst this thing seems to... It's almost as if it has potential energy rather than energy. It's not a bomb, but it has some sort of capability to it.
I mean, I can definitely sense something magical in there, strong enough that we can feel it. I'm not getting some immense, like, bad feeling from it. So we just go knock. Or sleep. I don't care. I'm well tired.
Kavanagh, you already mentioned that you have no sensory ability. Is that correct?
I have none.
Okay. Well, we have two options, as I see it. We can either stay here in this rough, harsh, less than ideal terrain, or we can go through the door and see what lies beyond it. We may be able to find shelter there. We don't know what dangers lurk there, though, so I will go first.
Aressia, roll perception as the only one not distracted by the thrum of this doorway.
In response to her saying that she'll go first, I'll be like, Lieutenant, I have the ability to send messages with my mind.
Okay.
Oh!
So if you'd like, I could go first.
Dear.
If it's dangerous, I'll let you
dear.
know.
Aressia, you just see this doorway. It definitely has the small blue lights that the map shows, kind of twinkling in different places on it, but you don't see anything else.
Okay.
Should we, if we're worried about going through, is it worth trying to camp outside the door before Lieutenant?
How's everyone's energy?
Well, I fell out a tree.
Yeah,
but I've been healed, so I'm okay.
What's everyone's HP at?
It's not really a thing for somebody who's not a healer. You can see that Vice has remnants of a bloodied nose, but ultimately it's been healed up.
I'm a bit tired, but
yeah.
there's no
Taran looks fine.
I'm fine.
And Lydia's
You
tired.
guys are just having a late day. You haven't actually missed a night's sleep at this point.
Yeah.
But it is
let's
about
just-
midnight,
let's
you said.
It's getting close to that sort of time, yeah, but you don't actually suffer any consequences from missing... I don't know whether you get exhaustion from the first long rest. I think it's the second one.
Don't know. I'm going to say to Taran, like, don't you have to be familiar with who you're sending that message to?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty familiar with you guys, though.
Oh, you meant to have a message with us?
Yeah.
As in what? As in what? You go through the door and then send us a message on what's on the other side?
I mean, I don't necessarily have to close the door behind me. And I sort of look with a kind of look, just like, I can still see you as I go through the door. If it closes quite intensely, it's probably not that safe.
But you could also let Aressia go and send her a message, what can you see, and vice versa. If she wanted to go first. But it's up to you guys, I don't care.
Parvis, I think given the fact that you have magical inclinations and I do not, it would be wise for us to scout together. So let's go ahead and just survey the area. I want to do survey right now. Lightwood and Kavanagh, I'd like you to fall back here, be on standby, and we will call for you if we find anything.
Vice, you owe me a sandwich. Make me one.
If you're making sandwiches, save one for me.
I don't think I got any bread. Hang on, did I get any bread? Oh, I got flour. I need water.
And an oven.
Eggs.
No, I can just we could just make a fire, right?
I mean, it's not going to be great bread then, is it?
It's also going to take a
What do you
long
mean?
ass
What do you mean?
time.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We could make a proper. Nah, we can. I
Flatbread?
can make a.
Remember, you are
I
on
can make-
standby. Anything that you do, you need to be able to abandon immediately.
Yeah, that's
Do
fine.
not call too much attention to yourself.
Okay, well, we'll hold off on the food for a minute.
I didn't type anywhere. I think I just I don't know where I typed that. Mine, like, I don't have Facebook open, but I feel like my Facebook status is now like, how long does it take to turn dough into bread?
Well, it depends what kind of bread you're making. Like,
Oh, it can take you
whether
about
it needs
half
to
an hour.
rise or not.
Half an hour. About
45 minutes, says
There
Google.
you go. All right. So
Taryn's
yeah, I've
approaching
said
the
my
door.
bit.
Is that the
All
case?
right.
I thought they were together.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
going
we are
together?
together.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know if
Yeah.
anyone was saying anything beyond what I just said.
Vice?
Vice.
Vice
You
is
doing
on
anything with Aresia and Taryn approaching the door?
I'm not on. I'm
You're not on mute.
am
We can
I?
hear you.
I wondered if that would work.
I actually looked down and saw. No.
Good.
I,
So, Aresia and Taryn, you two slowly approach the door, and without any sort of roll required, because you get close enough to see this, you approach the door, and you see that there is like a almost rocky trim to the edge of the door, as though the door is built into a sort of side of a surface that is not reminiscent of the forest that you currently find yourselves in. I appreciate that the imagery of this map is that it seems somewhat bright, and also looking at Amy looks as though it's kind of daytime. Keep in mind, it's actually quite dark, and basically the middle of this day, the end of this day, not the middle of this day, the end of this day. As you both approach the door, without any sort of roll required, you see a flickering of purplish light, a kind of spark in the bottom left corner of the stonish frame, just to the side of the wooden door, and it's moving as if it's alive, but it's almost on a kind of very fragmented track as it quickly darts back and forth, making its way around the stonework. It takes quite a long time to make it all the way up one side and then
Sorry,
over
Josh,
the top.
can you repeat that? My audio dropped out for a minute.
So you're looking at a kind of purplish light in the bottom left of the stonework that acts as the trim to this door, which is otherwise attached to nothing. It's making its way around the outside of the door, but quite slowly. Whilst the spark itself is moving very fast, it has a long way to go, and as a result, it takes... I think I put a time on it, 1 sec. No. So it takes like almost a full minute, maybe longer, and maybe a little bit more than that, to watch this purplish spark slowly, fragmentedly, in a very non-linear path, make its way around the frame of this door. It becomes apparent, two things become apparent rather, as it maneuvers around this trim. One is that it seems to be burning into the rock as it moves around it, as dust is sort of falling away from the rock behind it, and something is being etched into the stonework as it moves around. The other is that whatever's being etched into the door is loosely reminiscent of some form of language. And as it moves kind of halfway up, you can see that it begins to repeat itself in the movements that it's making. And the previous movements that were kind of carved into stone somehow, out of nowhere, begin to almost heal over and create a smooth stone face once more. Before you can fully... Go on.
No, I was going to ask, am I able to recognize the language?
Before you can fully recognize the language, the spark makes a full track around the door, and kind of goes all the way over the arch, back down the right-hand side. As you're just sort of confused looking at it for a moment, it almost buries into the earth and is immediately gone, leaving a lingering kind of purple trail that slowly catches up to it, followed by the burning of some sort of scripture written in the rock, followed by the healing over of the smooth surface. Aresia, given that you tried to, make a perception roll for me, please, and we'll see if you can discover anything about this strange carving light that you saw. You believe you saw the word "the door" in what seemed to be... I haven't put that language on here, but I know what it is. It seemed to be in Elvish script. I believe you speak Elvish.
I do.
Taryn, do you speak Elvish?
Yes.
Okay, but you weren't looking. So, Aresia, you
I was
see...
waiting for things to happen.
That's
I
fine.
wasn't-
That's fine. You were looking. I just mean you didn't catch the script specifically as it burnt round. You were enraptured in the magic of the thing, the spectacle. Aresia, you recognise that the door, the last kind of two discernible words that you got from it, were the last two words in a sentence before the spark hit the mud and dissipated. You guys have a moment to
Okay.
sort of talk amongst yourselves.
And the purple light, it doesn't go in a loop. It just went over the arch and then
You
stopped.
just saw it start at the left, make its whole way around, and dissipate at the right.
Parbus,
Mhm.
did you catch that just now?
I sort of watched it. It went a bit fast for me. Was there anything discernible for you? Looked more
I
like-
couldn't get all of it. I just got the last few etchings that said the door, and it's in Elvish, so this is something to do with elven lore, but I didn't catch the first part of the sentence, so
So is there stuff like actually etched in there?
No, it's healed over.
healed over.
As described, the stone becomes smooth once more in a kind of gradual following. It's sort of a race. The light, the etching that it leaves behind, creating some sort of script, the dust falling from the stone, and then the eventual smooth over of everything catching it up. There's also a sort of lingering light from the initial burning into the stone as it
I
carries
want to
around.
cast dancing lights
Okay.
and say to Aresia.
Is
"Do
it
you
a
remember-"
cantrip, dancing lights?
Yes.
Okay.
And I say to Aresia, can you remember the sort of general direction that it was going in? See if I can try and imitate it in some way.
It started from the bottom left of the and was almost zigzagging across alongside the frame. Not quite zigzagging, but as close as I can. And it just finished off here at the bottom right, and it looked like it went into the ground. And I'm just going to point to where I saw the light finish off.
I want to take the light because it would just be just a small orb,
Okay.
and I trail it around the arch, making a couple of slight zigzags along the way to see if anything reacts in any kind of fashion.
Okay. So you're creating one singular light rather than several
Yes.
dancing lights. Okay, cool. So as you make this light, you bring it close up to the bottom left of the stonework, and you try to imitate the erratic movements that you saw before. Essentially, you're just sort of oddly lighting different parts of the stonework
Yeah.
as you move it up. And Aresia, you watch this. Taran, it takes you a little bit of time to kind of focus on the spell and do this. And as you're moving the lights up, you're about halfway up the left-hand side of the door. As Aresia, you recognize the purple light from before start again in the bottom left.
Right.
And it starts burning this same sort of pattern
Right.
into the bottom left, but Taran's not recognized it yet.
All right. Taran, keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to shout that at him and try and follow the light starting from the left side
Okay.
to follow the words.
Bear with me. Okay. So, as it burns around, it catches up with you, Taran. And do you speak Elvish, Taran?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So the both of you recognize scripture, Elvish scripture, that translates to learned or gifted, faultless or flawed, you possess what is needed, now open the door.
Oh,
I'll paste it into Roll20.
thanks. So we both read that together.
You didn't necessarily read it out loud or at the same time, but both of you saw that in
As I would have
Elvish.
read that, I would just go to Aresia did you catch that?
How long
Yes.
does dancing lights last?
It's like a minute.
Okay.
I'll switch it off once we've read it.
Okay. I don't think it's going to matter because it was up anyway. As you finish reading it, whether you read it out loud or in your mind, one of the doors opens just slightly and then the other catches up to it, and both doors kind of move just slightly open as they kind of creak just a little bit. There's a slow as they
I give a
move
slight
apart.
look of semi-confusion, just like, did I do what?
I'm going to look at him and say, before we proceed, we should let Kavanagh and Lightwood know about the elven nature of the door.
Yeah,
See
I
if they
would.
have further input.
I would then use message and just say, doors have opened. Some text on there, Elven. Let you know when you get here. And then I'll turn to Aresia like, do you want them to come now?
You guys hear this message. Well, one of you does. It's
Specifically Livia.
okay. So Livia, you hear this message in your mind. They're within shouting distance anyway, really. But for the sake
Okay.
of not drawing attention, you do receive this
I'll just
message.
tell Max and then go from there.
Okay. Do you guys go towards them? Is what I'm basically getting to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vice, you're happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
So Livia and Vice, you start making your way up. As Taryn, you've kind of asked Oresia whether or not you should ask them to move up. You see that they already are.
I just nod and say, okay.
I want to proceed slightly towards the door a bit more and have a look at the stonework and see if there's anything more to discern from it.
I mean, doesn't for me. Sorry to
No, go
on,
for it,
carry
go for
on. No, I don't want to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I can resolve everything afterwards. Tell me what you're saying.
No, I'm just thinking. Doesn't the riddle sound like it's basically saying that anyone can come through?
You don't know about the riddle.
Oh, I thought we were told.
No, we just said it was an elven door.
Oh, okay.
I said something about the scripture. I'll tell you when you get.
Are we at the door?
Yeah,
they got
we
up
can
to
fast
us.
forward to that
Okay.
point.
Okay. So I'm just going to... I'm going to relay...
Oh,
can you? Yeah, so...
well, as
is it
Oresia
still
turns to
going?
you and starts describing it, there's a moment of...
So can I.
Oh, okay, cool. So there's a
We're
moment
all
of
elven speakers.
Oresia explaining it, and as she does, she sort of starts by explaining what happened rather than giving you the message. You see it behind her make its way around the frame once more. And Livia, you see this too.
Okay.
Pretty
well,
much read it at the same time that Oresia is telling you the riddle.
As we're
message
walking
riddle.
up there, I'm gonna be like to Livia. I was like, doesn't that just sound like it's saying that anyone can come in?
Seems like it. It's saying like no matter what you are, you've got what it takes to go in for some reason.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Harvest, have you found anything?
Can I roll to see if I find anything?
Yeah, roll perception, and we'll see what you see beyond the door.
So this, yes. 13.
Okay, so it's strange. You can kind of see between the gaps in the door a room of some description, what appears to be a room within some kind of tower, but at the same time, you really can't see the specifics of the room at all. The doors are sort of in the way, but also it catches you in a way that, like, you feel like if there was something in the room, you'd be able to kind of see it by just moving around the doors a little bit, but somehow you can't.
Yeah, I'd relay that slight information to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm just a bit more curious of what's inside, so I'm not looking in their direction, really.
I say let's go in.
Agreed.
Let's just go in.
Let's go.
Is that what you
I'll
guys
cast-
do?
I'll cast
Yeah.
dancing lights again as well, just to keep one light by my shoulder. And then I would send a light per person.
Okay, so as you guys collectively move through the doorway, it closes behind you. And as it does, you find yourselves in this room. Let me just drag you all on. Oh, that's not how you drag people on. Aresia. Not Asteros. He ain't even here. Livia. Not Nemea. Taryn. Vice. So. Which one's Taryn these days? That one. Okay, cool. So Livia went first. Vice went with her. Aresia followed. And Taryn was the next to Aresia. Just going to zoom in on this map a little bit. There we go. Fucking weird cut off. So, I appreciate this map has a door. As the door closes behind you, it disappears.
Mhm.
You find yourselves in a room seemingly containing barrels, boxes, and torches that are lit. As you enter it, you're in a large-ish space. Whilst the interior of this structure is square, you got from the kind of curved nature of the door and the stone frame of it that it was likely a sort of spherical-ish, rounded building. So, you guys find yourselves in this room. What do you want to do?
Okay. So I'm immediately going to turn to where the door disappeared and inspect that space.
You find wall. If you want to inspect it further, then roll. What kind of roll do you do to touch a wall and see if there's a door there? Yeah, just go with investigation.
Oh man, it's not my strong suit.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, investigation's definitely the right roll.
I mean,
Okay, so you feel like if there was something to find, a sort of trick or bookcase, hidden bookcase style book pull thing, you would find it. And yet somehow you are in a room that has no entrance. There is a staircase to the side that leads upwards.
I'm going to look to the group and say, well, that's not good.
I say this is a perfect place to make camp.
right. I would agree.
I'm having a look over in this corner at all of these boxes. and
Okay,
barrels.
roll investigation.
It's +5. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So as you look in those boxes, you don't find anything of real interest. It's kind of containers, but not really anything in them. It looks as though they were maybe emptied at one point. There's hay and the like for presumably softening the blow of what's being stored in it. Yeah, possibly horses. You're not sure. Although they haven't eaten it if it was here. But you don't find anything of import. No coin or anything like that. What are the rest of you doing as Taryn searches that corner?
I'm
Suggesting that we
making
should
my
sit-
way toward the staircase.
Okay. Let me stick you over by the staircase then. Oh, that's annoying. We're at the exact zoom. That means I can't rotate your token. Fucking stupid. There we go. So, Aresia, I will come back to you. The rest of
Okay.
you. Vice, Livia, what are you doing?
I'm waiting. I said, why don't we set up camp?
Okay, Vice?
I'm actually I'm more curious about what's going on down the stairs, but
You are downstairs. That staircase leads upstairs.
Up.
Oh, I mean upstairs. Pardon
Okay.
me.
Cool.
Sorry.
So you find yourself in the same sort of place as Aresia. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Aresia and Vice, roll investigation for me, please. As I check what you see.
Lame.
Does
Lame.
that have... Oh, I've clicked off. My bad.
Well, that might not be the end of it. Hang on. Oh, what is my investigation that terrible? Oh wow.
You guys suck.
Taryn, roll investigation.
You see how
Sweet.
Oh,
Everyone sucks.
God.
Everyone sucks.
Yeah. I should have investigated. Mine's a +6.
Yeah, but
You
you're
still have the
Why
chance if
didn't
you
you?
want to. You're
You-
standing doing nothing.
That's not what it's...
You were waiting. Everyone else seems to be exploring. So if you want to change from
I
waiting
don't want to. I
okay,
was
cool.
saying I...
Livia, have a look at this.
You just said I
got-
should have investigated,
right.
so I'm saying if you want
I
to.
meant like it should have been me because of my high roll, not like that's what I wanted to do.
Okay,
Don't worry.
fine.
I'll pull this.
Cool. Aresia and Vice. So Aresia, as you look above the stairway, there's like a trap door. And you push it open just a little bit, and as you look around, you're kind of facing the wrong way almost. You can just see wall, and what appears to be another staircase off to the side.
Okay. So I'm going to lower the trapdoor and turn to Vice and say,
Vice,
like
you see basically the same thing.
I'll just say to him, it looks like we're at the bottom of a tower.
Do you say look at it? Look at the what? Look at the bottom
said
of the tower.
It looks it looks like we're at the bottom of the tower.
You're right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You're right. Your
Did
observation
you not
is right.
see anything like this when you were up in the tree?
I mean, no. No, I didn't. I was paying too much attention to looking at the sky as I was
We're
falling.
never going to set up camp there.
No. No. I mean, I
Sky camp.
saw nothing like this at all. And now I am incredibly curious about what's up the top.
Okay.
You're aware that the doorway was attached to nothing when you walked through it.
So I'm going to call over to Taryn and ask, Parbus, have you found anything?
No, lots of empty boxes.
You haven't searched all the boxes in that corner, but currently all you've found is empty boxes.
Yeah. That's what I'd relay, is just lots of empty boxes. Nothing really of interest. It's quite barren.
Have you checked everything?
Not entirely, but
I'm going to look over to Livia and ask, what have you found, if anything?
I mean, I said to everyone I think we should make camp and sleep, but no one's said anything.
That would be a good idea if we knew this was safe terrain, but seems like there were more floors above us.
No, but there
And
could be 300 floors at uptide.
could be, and they could all be infested with goblins and demons and bandits.
Go on, please.
Exactly. So, surely staying in the room where there's no door for people to come in, we've got a defendable staircase that we can defend and watch all night. This seems like the best place. But it's your call. If you want to go up, we can. I don't mind.
Lightwood, are you too tired to continue?
I'm not too tired. I just, it's well late.
I'm inclined to...
Those shifty eyes.
If you need me to go on, I will. But it's 1 a.m. now?
No, you guys have spent
it was midnight when we were out.
I said it was close to
coming up
midnight.
the door.
When you were coming up to the door, and then it's been minutes since then.
Okay, irrelevant. It's 12 then. It's still midnight, and we've been walking for 12 hours?
I'd say I'm inclined to agree. I think we should probably prepare.
If you guys want to go up, we'll go up. I just feel like we've been walking a really long time, and then we're gonna walk up lots of stairs.
I don't care what we do, but I'm imagining that Lieutenant has the final say, right?
All right. So I'm going to look at the group, look at Vice's bloody nose, and say, I think it's a good idea that we rest a while.
That's right.
And I'm just going to allow them to set up their beds, I guess.
Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, that's not what I want to look at. I hope you guys don't have the stream running.
No, I don't.
No.
Cool. I was just checking the exact date and time. Okay, so Taryn, Livia, Vice. As you guys, are you all going to sleep, or?
I was going to. I assumed we'd take shifts to keep an eye on the staircase in case a ghoul or a goblin comes climbing out.
I would set up my bedroll just over here.
Are you stopping with your existing thing for the sake of bedding up and resting for the night, Taryn? You were searching boxes. Are you giving that up for the sake of sleep?
Oh, yeah. Is the hum still happening?
No, it stopped since you came in.
Okay. I would get nice and laid up.
Back in 2 secs.
Okay, that sucks. So, I was going to jump back to Amy. Olivia, where are you setting up in the room?
By where I am, I guess, by the where the door was.
Vice, anything specific?
So you know here by the staircase. Sorry, is there a what was here?
That's a staircase.
No, it's at the top of the staircase with a door. Sorry, you said.
It's like a trap door. So, like, opening it is the next floor.
I see. Oh yeah, I'm not bothered. I'll sleep anywhere. I'll sleep on this cobblestone.
Okay, cool. There's not a whole lot I can do then until Amy gets back, given that she is planning to carry on looking around a bit without you guys. I guess, Taryn, as you rest up near one of the boxes that you haven't yet checked out. What's that?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, Max, you're sort of weirdly paused.
What the hell just happened to my everything? Everything has just stopped.
Also, you've like frozen with your mouth open.
Oh no, like,
Yeah. Skype is dead.
Skype is dead for Max. So, Taryn, you come across
oh,
an
okay.
item in a box near to you as you begin to kind of rest down for the night. It's in an area that you didn't previously look in. Just in a box that you didn't previously look in.
I just sort of looked
Can
at my
you see
son
me
and like,
moving?
oh,
Can you
shit.
see me moving?
No.
No, I think
No.
you're going to need to kill Skype and come back in, which is going to fuck
Okay.
up some stuff, but it's fine.
Oh man.
Taryn, in your inventory is an item.
Ooh.
Oh, that's going to fuck everything up.
Hello.
Well, we split
Sorry.
Amy in half while she's not here anyway. It's fine.
no.
So I'm going to bring this up for the stream.
Split the forest in half.
Hey, here she comes.
Ah, shit.
And Max, you're good by the looks of it? Yeah, good. You're unfrozen.
Yeah, can you hear me?
So Taryn, we can hear you. Taryn, as you find this staff, oddly snake-headed, you recognise that it's almost kind of like cracked, but where the cracks are, it has a sort of glowing energy that like fills the gaps, if that makes sense. And you have that item. That is yours.
Cool. I can't attune to it though.
You cannot.
That's sad. Oh damn!
Aresia. Can you hear me? Amy?
Sorry? Sorry. Sorry, what'd you say?
As the group go to sleep,
Oh, me, sorry. Right.
yes, you wanted to carry on without them.
I did. Are they all asleep? Sorry, I'd seen
Yeah.
Taran found a staff, so I didn't know if he was still awake or not.
Yeah, that's fine. They're all sort of... I'm jumping forward, like, say, an hour or two.
Oh, okay, so they're all asleep.
Given that you were sort of at the staircase and looking to go up, I assumed that you were likely telling them that you're going to do the watch and whatnot.
Yeah. Let's say I said that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so if they're all down, I'm going to continue up the stairs and go through the trapdoor.
Cool. Let me see if this works, because it doesn't all the time. There we go.
Ooh.
Only you can see this.
Yep.
So you find yourself about here. The map's imperfect. There would be a trapdoor, but there isn't.
Yeah.
And you've basically made your way up to this floor.
Right. So, am I facing the wall?
You can face whichever way you want. You can control your
Okay.
token.
Can I? How do I do that?
Yeah, so if you click it, you'll be able to spin it around by doing the sort of tail blue square off of the 8 blue squares that change your size. So this one here sort of flips you around.
There it is.
You can also do the little dot to give yourself status effects and the cog to like set your health and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of moving around, you can move it around by dragging it. I think you can arrow key it. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's me
All
fucking
right.
with it.
So I'm going to move to this set of shelves, I assume they are, and inspect the shorter ones on the side here.
Okay, roll investigation.
Shouldn't have been me going to do this.
Hey, you chose to go off by yourself.
I know, but my investigation's terrible. All right.
Classic Lael gets murdered move.
I know. See what happens. Be kind.
We shall see. So, as you make your way to this kind of corner of the room specifically, you can clearly see... I feel like I don't want to tell everyone else what you're seeing.
And the whispers
Whispers
thing.
exist
Yeah,
for
I'm
whispers?
going to use whispers. One sec. Hello. I took the music with us as well.
Oh, lovely.
For the stream's sake. So, this is much easier. On that roll, you can obviously see the food surrounding you. And you can see what appears to be lanterns lit with different colours in a way that you don't fully understand. There is scripture on the desk in some fashion. But none of it looks too... What's the word?
Does my role apply to all of that corner?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, oh, lame. Okay.
No, it's an investigation roll. You're investigating this floor or this room.
Stuck. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So scripture.
Some scripture that you don't really recognize. You don't flick through it as yet. You see some lanterns that are lit in different colors, like the map suggests, on the corner of the table. And in front and behind you is a whole bunch of food stores. Some of the food you don't really recognize. Some of it you do.
Okay. So with the food that I do recognize, is it kind of root vegetables? Is it actual?
Yeah, there's carrots. There's like potatoes and stuff like that.
So it's that kind of food. It's not like
Yeah, there's some
pre-made meals
strange fruits, not fruits, there's some strange vegetables, well, maybe fruits that you don't massively recognize, that you're a little bit unsure about, but there is also some stuff that you do.
Okay. And the scripture that I can see, do I recognize the language it's written in?
You'd need to
I don't-
spend some more time if you wanted to go and, like, go through it.
Okay.
So if you want to spend, more hours specifically trying to look through that sort of thing, given that your existing role was that you barely even saw it, it was just sort of slid under on a shelf.
Yeah, okay.
You can if you want to, but that's
So
what
I
you'll spend some more time doing if you choose to.
Okay. I'll just make a note of it that there's scripture in terms of what documents or books.
You're not
What is it?
certain. They seem
Not
to,
certain.
some piece seems to be bound with loose pages. It could be like a folder. It could just be loose pages. It could be a book.
Okay.
You don't know at this distance.
I'll just give that a loose scan for now and walk to the other side of the room. And
Okay.
I'm going to just
So like the map
examine...
suggests, there's a large carpet, a chair, a bed, another one of those strange lanterns that seems to be glowing a red light, and you see a staircase up to the next floor.
Okay.
You
and I
assume
don't
it goes
see-
to the next floor.
Okay, and I don't see anything of interest with my low roll in this corner.
Roll investigation again, we'll see. Also, I should point out the door on this map is not there. I didn't have time to edit the door out.
It's fine.
No, looks like a bed, a strange red light, a lantern, a carpet, and a chair.
Oh, D20, you cruel. All right. So I just see a bed, carpet. I'm gonna make my way. So hang on, there is a doorway. I can get back downstairs if I need to.
There
From
is
this
a
floor.
yeah. It's not on the map,
Yeah.
but there is a stairway that you came up from. You can come back
That's
down. If
fine.
you
I'm
need
just
to.
making sure we have no more disappearing doors.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. So I'm going to just scan that, take note of the gist of what I've seen, and continue onward onto the next floor.
Okay, so as you attempt to open this trapdoor, this hatch, you're unable to. You can try and force it if you want.
Okay.
Seems to be locked,
So-
perhaps.
Seems to be locked. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to return back to the scripture for a closer look.
Okay, so it's going to take you maybe a couple hours to look through it. Let me just check one thing.
Or two.
Hello, sorry.
Oh, is it?
Are any of you
Sight.
trance sleeping?
Yes. No.
No.
No? No elves amidst the group?
Max is a half elf. Does he get it?
I don't think so.
No.
Vice, can you trance sleep?
No.
No. Okay, cool. Carry on. Okay, so it takes you a couple hours. Collectively, you're getting to sort of midway through their rest at this point. But you do discern the nature of this book. You have to search through a bunch of papers and musings. There's some odd diagrams that seem to lay out. One thing is looking at... Well, I'll tell you what. Roll investigation for me. And I'll tell you what you find before you find the specifics of this book.
Oh, come on, that's... What is going on?
So you see one picture, a very kind of ornate, elegant sketch of a stereotypical chest. And you then find, amidst these various papers, having searched and tried to discern a lot of this writing, some of it's in common, some of it's in Elvish, some of it is in some sort of encrypted Elvish script that you don't recognize. What you do understand is that you have collectively throughout this searching found a cellular book that seems to be entitled Arcanic Machination-Based Solitude.
Oh, hang on. Can you write that? Hang on.
Yeah,
What's
hang
it?
See if I can whisper it to you.
Or if not, just say it again and write it down. Arcanic Machination.
It is not sending.
It's fine. Just tell me again. I'll write it down.
I've committed to this. Yep. Arcanic Machination-Based Solitude. Hey, there we go.
Very good. Okay.
But you're also aware at this point that it's getting very late, and that if you don't sleep soon amidst the others, you likely won't get the chance, and as a result will probably suffer from exhaustion.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave the book where it is.
Okay.
And go back down to the lower floor.
Okay, cool. Let me delete you off of here. Pull you back into the players. I will come with you, and we'll put the bot in there first so that they can stop calling us names before we go in.
Fans just
Hello.
totally screwed up. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, you'll have to wait for us to finish talking.
Oh,
By
carry
the way,
on.
Which conversation was being recorded during this? Was it yours or ours?
That I believe the input for
Should be Josh.
OBS is my headset, so it hears what I hear and picks up my voice.
Okay.
So if you watch this back, you'll hear the whispers. Don't do that.
I'm gonna do that.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna do that.
So you guys are basically asleep at this point. Aresia, you make your way downstairs. I'm gonna need a dex save from you, Aresia.
I see those rolls. They are not looking promising.
No, I know. It's not been
Whatever's
good.
happening.
You haven't seen nothing. You is
Okay.
asleep.
I see everything.
Sorry, this damn mouse.
You're on mute, Max, because you're eating crisps or nuts.
I would say it was a dex save.
This time I'm
Dex
not
save.
winding you up.
Okay, cool. So you begin to creak a certain floorboard
How
on
do
your
I
way
forget
down.
when I just
You
did
lift
it?
your foot once more, and you manage to make your way back down without waking anyone. You can see they're all sort of asleep. Livia's just sort of sprawled out in a sleeping bag in the middle of the room. Vice has leaned himself up near one of the torches on the cobblestone, oddly picking a slightly worse terrain than the wooden floor. Taran is leaned up near some of the boxes. He has a object near him, a staff of some description that you don't recognize. Just near him, he's laid it on the floor.
Okay,
You were under the impression that we're going to rotate watches, by the way. So, just let you know.
No, mate, I'm sleeping all the way through.
I am splayed out. I'm gone.
Who was the first to
I
fall
was.
asleep?
You don't know, you walked upstairs.
Oh, of course I did. But I know I've been gone for a while, haven't I?
Yeah, you've gone for about 3 or 4 hours at this point.
Okay.
Hours?
I was doing stuff. Okay.
We
So
never just get a group that all want to stay together.
I know.
I'm going to tap Livia
Uh-huh.
on the shoulder, and I'm also going to tap Taran on the shoulder.
Oh shit! Have I been eating my crisp?
Dude, how long have we been playing D&D and you've been eating crisps? You've been eating crisps since you were about 2, and you've been playing D&D for like, what, a year?
I
Still hasn't mastered
I
it.
turned off my mic. Anyway, doesn't
Turned
matter.
it back on.
Yeah.
Arestia, you tap the 2 on the shoulder. Not Vice.
Yeah.
It's the only
Not
important
Vice.
point in there.
Not Vice. So
This means I don't get a long rest, right?
No, it depends on the duration of this conversation.
Okay.
okay, so I'm going to say to both of them, I've kept watch for a while. I'm going to rest now. I'd like you two to continue the watch. You can agree amongst yourselves who Kavanaugh will replace on the watch.
So you don't both have to take watch. Arestia is giving you the choice between you. Which one will do it?
I would be very like sleepy, just looking at her like,
Oh, I guess I'll do it. Stupid
Okay.
boys.
Do you want to do anything in the time that you are alone whilst the rest sleep, Livia?
I will play solitaire on my own.
Okay. Who do
Vice.
you wake Vice afterwards? Or do you get Taran?
I guess I will get Vice and hand over my solitaire game.
Okay. Vice, are you doing anything in your time alone? Or are you simply playing solitaire, the common multiplayer game that you know so well? You're muted.
He's on mute. It's literally not-
It didn't even say
so
anything yet. We just
laughable.
knew he was on mute before
Yeah.
he even spoke.
It was his face of 1 minute. What?
Processing.
Okay, now I don't know how I keep doing it. Sorry, what was the question?
Are you
Sorry.
doing anything whilst you take your watch?
I
You're
woke
aware
you
of
up
your
and left you with a game of
surroundings.
solitaire.
There are some
yeah,
cards
I
sprawled out.
Yeah, I probably break out a bit of solitaire. Yeah, why not? It's
Mhm.
been a while.
Okay. And at some point, I assume you pass over to Taran for the final watch. Not that you'd really know that. Who do you wake for the final watch?
You do know that Aresia took the first watch, and I woke you up.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Then I probably would wake up Taran and have him up if possible.
Okay. Taran, are you doing anything in your downtime alone?
I would be doing that like weird, like the poker chip thing, but with a lightning bolt between my fingers.
Okay.
Just dicking
You're
about
just trying
with a
to
lightning bolt.
practice
Just-
controlling it. What
My little
cantrip do
parlor
you
trick.
have that allows you to control lightning to such a specific expertise style degree? Is
It's
it none?
literally an ineffective bolt of lightning.
What's the spell?
This is literally just RP play shit.
So, what's your spellcasting modifier?
18.
Oh, what's the overarching stat that determines your spellcasting modifier?
Yeah, charisma.
Charisma. Give me a charisma save.
No.
Didn't actually look at what the charisma thing was. Ooh, 7. Because I have this. Wait. That ain't right. That should be an 8.
It's proficiency
done
plus
this?
charisma for your.
Yeah. I think that's the one number that I haven't changed on
You're
here.
not. You're not necessarily proficient in charisma saves, though. Like, if you are proficient, then it will be modifier plus
Yeah.
proficiency.
I had it as like +2 on there, but my proficiency bonus is +3.
What's your stat in charisma?
It's 5.
Plus
Like,
5. Plus 5
20.
plus proficiency, so +8.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the one number that I didn't have down. It's 15.
Okay, cool. So as you passively try to control this electricity, just kind of flicking between your fingers, it like goes a little bit astray at one point and kind of zaps out at nothing and dissipates, and you start it again once more, trying to master this movement that you passively do in your own time.
That's it.
Okay.
I just did that for fun.
So, you all kind of sleep a little bit longer than normal. As you wake, you recognize that Aresia is asleep for a good couple hours. As you guys come to, it's your choice
Green eggs
whether or
and
not...
ham. Green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham.
White
Do I have eggs? Actually, by the
I don't
time...
know.
No, you don't have eggs. This is why we need a hen. We've been through this.
Aresia, make a con save, please.
I do have eggs. I've got 10 eggs.
How the fuck do you have eggs?
I bought 10 eggs, man.
Green eggs and ham.
They're definitely going to be green
Okay.
by this time.
Yeah, you might want to consider when you got certain things and maybe cut off anything that is likely not still fresh. I believe your
You
cooking
used
thing...
those when you did your practicing, man.
Your cooking
Actually,
thing
no,
only
eggs will
allows
probably
you
be
to
alright.
cure meats.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
know,
Yeah, but it's
I know,
been
but I missed out the opportunity for
4
me
or
to
5
do it.
days. The eggs
Yeah.
will be okay if you use them now.
Also, the meat should be fine, right?
You can cure meat so that it lasts a month. So...
Yeah. I know, yeah. I just didn't know if I cure the meat though, would it make a difference when it comes to me making like
Yes.
a meal?
Yeah,
It would,
it's
wouldn't it? It basically
saltier
becomes
and more
jerky, yeah.
jerky-esque, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so-
Aresia, somehow, you manage to maintain the sleep you require for the next couple hours as everyone starts loudly shouting green eggs and ham.
and ham. Mix it up.
So you're going to try and make something, Vice?
Yeah, sure, why not? I might as well. Bad, isn't it?
You can practice whilst doing it. If nobody's
could.
going to get the benefit, it's up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get. Well, they may get sick after this. I'm not sure. Who knows?
How long have you had these eggs?
I've had the eggs
Bought
since
them just before we left.
just before we left.
For the mission with Asteros.
No, before
No,
we
no.
left.
When we
go
got
back
back
This
and
was the
swapped.
quartermaster
Yeah,
at the
we
end.
got
When you
back.
got back. Okay, yeah, I'd say they've kept. Definitely these have kept.
I
Okay,
think you
like-
like, use them now.
Alright, I'll use
Non-refrigerated,
them.
you're probably at the end of their life. Yeah.
I'll use them now. Then I'll use them now.
Green
So
eggs and ham.
yeah, well, we got wild boar. We could do something with that. Yeah,
There you go. That's ham.
there you go. Let me just cook, but I'm not. But I'm gonna use my buff. I'm gonna.
You're going to give
get
the buff.
well fed. I'm gonna give them the well-fed buff.
What?
Okay.
This is why you're never gonna practice, man.
Well, if I, I don't know. I thought that you were trying to tell me to give you the buff.
No, I just
um,
want green eggs and ham.
Oh, well then I'll just do that then. I'll just cook without it then.
Yeah, take the
without giving
practice.
the buff. Yeah, let me give.
I don't know if you'll be able to do 4 practices. Though.
But I can't. I don't know, Josh. Can I do 4 practices? Or we had this conversation.
You can't do 4 practices, no.
Well, no, but you did say
it'll take 4
Aresia was going to
hours.
sleep a couple of hours. So
Yes.
what? He could spend 2 hours cooking.
Well, he's cooking breakfast. It's very meta to be like, she's sleeping 2 hours, so I can do 2 practices in that time. He's making breakfast. It's one instance of making this thing. Also,
Perhaps,
Vice,
Yeah.
I'm going to say roll survival or nature for me, as I've Googled how long eggs last.
Say that again. Sorry, you broke up.
Roll survival or nature for me.
Survival in nature.
You guys don't necessarily know how much longer Aresia is going to sleep for. You just know that she's asleep. Okay, cool. So, a while ago, Vice, roughly 3 or 4 days, in the downtime that you spent practicing your food, you recognised that you had these eggs. Unfortunately, amidst your various food goods, you also had vinegar, and you've managed to pickle them so that they last longer. Because eggs unrefrigerated do not last 5 days, according to Google. So we're going to say that you pickled these eggs a while ago to extend their life a little bit.
There's an awkwardness here with eggs. If you refrigerate them and then take them out, they're fucked really quick.
Yes.
But until you put them in the fridge,
These
they
are
last.
non-refrigerated eggs.
That's how they sell them in shops. Otherwise, you'd be fucked.
Yeah, they also don't have the longest shelf life, though. Well, I tell you what, let's check what this says. Now that I've done a second Google.
It wasn't me being
God.
argumentative. I just know it from actual cooking. Like, if you take eggs out of the fridge, you have to do them quickly because otherwise they go shit. But until you put them in the fridge, they last, I don't know, days. Because some people don't put eggs in the fridge. Some people leave them out.
This isn't saying anything. We're going to go with he pickled them. Problem
that's
solved.
gross. I don't want green eggs and ham anymore.
So Vice, you can make the meal. Are you doing it for the buff? Are you doing it for the practice? Your choice.
I am doing it for the practice, please.
Okay. So what is the main ingredient you're using? Because an egg is aside. Pickled eggs aside.
What? Wild boar, potatoes, and dill. Let me use dill today.
Okay, sounds nice. I like how we make a new meal with every time you like randomly group your ingredients.
Yeah. How many eggs was that pickled, by the way?
All of them.
All of them.
How many did you have?
10.
Okay, you've pickled 10 eggs, so those are now 10 pickled eggs. But this is their last day of use.
Okay, yeah, cool.
What else do you have that isn't meat or like a plant?
I've got that isn't a plant.
It's not a plant or meat.
Flour
That's fine.
and a bunch of spices.
That's fine. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. How many people's breakfasts are you making?
Can I make everyone's breakfast so I can
Okay.
just use this meat?
So that's 4
Please.
pickled eggs. 4 uses of pickled eggs. You can just do a very egg-based
meal
meal
let me
if
just
you
get
want.
let me just get rid of them.
Get
pickled
rid of the eggs because they're going off anyway.
Yeah, let me get rid of them eggs. Okay.
So
and
you
let me
guys
get
have
rid-
like 2.5 eggs each.
Yeah, and then let me use 4 wild boar
Okay.
plus. Actually, no. Hang on, it's 5, isn't it? Yeah, it's 5 of us.
No, there's 4 of you.
Oh, it's 4 of us. Sorry, I can't count.
I don't care.
Three. Sorry, four of them. 4 potatoes, and the I'll just use a selection of herbs. I'll just take them off.
Okay, so take off 4 uses of herbs and the other things that you discussed, and I'll give you 2 rolls, given how many ingredients you're using in this sort of downtime.
Okay, cool.
So you need to beat, I believe it was 14. I forget.
I think it was 14 last time.
It is 14. So this will count as your possibly 6th and 7th if you can beat 14 on a D20 plus proficiency. That's 1. And that'll meet it, which I think is fine. I think meeting it is what you need. Yep, the DC is 14. So that's 2 more practice sessions towards becoming an apprentice culinary artisan. So mark that down on your count sheet. Everybody gets breakfast. Aresia, you wake to the smell of cold eggs, ham, and dill. As your breakfast has been laid out before you, but ultimately you slept a little bit long as everybody else got about themselves. Both Vice and Livia, you recognize the fact that Taran is sporting a new fancy-looking snake-heady staff that is just in his hand or on his side. I don't know. It's up to you, Taran.
Sort of leant up against the wall next to this box, like that I'm sat on, and yeah. I'll have forgotten to mention it as I've been waking up.
Where'd you find that?
The what? Oh, yeah. This was lying here. Forgot to mention it. Cool stuff? I don't know. Doesn't seem like I can use it for anything interesting. It's got a weird snake head, and I'll just sort of hold it a bit near my face, point out like, very weird. Yeah.
Am I awake at this point, Josh?
You're about to be.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say you wake up about now, given that nobody's really doing anything.
I mean, we were eating breakfast, right?
I'm not going to roleplay 20 minutes of eating breakfast in silence.
No, I don't think we need to. I feel like everyone's waiting for us to, and I don't intend to.
I thought there might be a continuation of conversation about the stuff, but it's fine. Aresia, you wake up about now.
All right. Okay. Oh, you're all here. Is it morning already? Can't tell. Are there any windows?
No.
Okay.
I'm ready.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I'm ready
You're ready?
to go. Or we can stay here.
Oh, yeah, but I haven't eaten yet. I just woke up.
I'm so confused.
What are you confused
But we
about?
weren't RPing breakfast. No,
No, we're not. But I got confused. I didn't know if you. In-game or out? Anyway, okay, that's fine. In-game,
When you've
ready.
eaten breakfast, I'm ready.
All right. So I'm going to look at the breakfast that was made for me, and then just look over at Bice and smile and blush a little bit, and turn away again. And
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it. You probably did.
He's eating, you're eating. I'm gonna say with his passive perception, it didn't look like it.
Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to say to everybody, did everyone take turns taking watch last night?
I would just sort of like nod, because I'm taking my time eating.
Okay. Did anyone find anything or discover anything while on their watch?
I shake
No.
my head.
No, nothing. I heard nothing. I saw nothing.
Okay. And what about you two?
Taran already shook his head.
I'm shaking my head.
I said nope.
So you didn't find anything either. I'll look over at Taran and say,
Were
what's
we meant
that?
to be looking for something? I thought we were keeping watch.
Yeah, but things can happen while you're on watch. Like,
Oh, no, nothing happened.
okay.
I played card games.
Yes. Did you?
I just sort of pick up the staff and
Did
just
you
sort
join
of
me
like
in solitaire?
angle it towards her.
Okay.
Just like, you can look if you want, because I'm still eating.
Yeah. I go over and have a look at the stuff.
Okay. So you see a very well-made, if not strangely kind of cracked and yet reforged looking, almost one-handed staff. It wraps around at the head in a kind of curved fashion, and it seems to shape the head of a snake at its point.
Okay. Can I see anything, sense anything magical or
You
anything?
can roll Arcana.
Out of the ordinary. Oh, yeah.
Did
Can I?
get a full long rest?
Say that again, Livia.
Did I get a full long rest?
Yes, everyone got a full long rest. So feel free to put your health back to full, your spell slots back to full, up your hit dice by half the amount used.
Fucking hell. That's...
It's a funky
My
looking staff.
God.
There's a
Oh,
reason you
goodness.
didn't feel a thrum.
Oh, man. And then I just hand it back to him and say, good find.
I just shrug a little bit. I'm just like,
Okay. Right, so I'm going to address the group and say, right, so yesterday, I think it's very fair to say everything fell into chaos and there was no structure and we wasted time and energy unnecessarily. Today, I want us to move ahead. with
Vice
the-
fell out of a structure. If that counts.
I mean, it wasn't ideal.
It was fine.
Yeah. Enough about the tree. I feel we've spoken at length about this tree. We've learned this lesson. Not as acrobatic as he at least.
I mean, we'll
believe.
see if he's learned his lesson. If in a week's time he wants to climb up another tree.
I might ask him to.
The man.
Okay, we need more strategy and structure this time around. I've watched how you, and it seems that all of you are
Not army.
absolute free spirits.
Oh yes, we were.
I
Well,
do
that's
not
a
mean.
nice way to put it.
We
I
were.
do not mean that as a compliment. So we need to get.
We're
I mean, I'm going to
disorganized
take it as
bunch.
one because we're definitely not free anymore. But sure.
We're
Okay.
disorganized, man. Yeah.
Well, let me just brief you on what I found during my watch. So while you were sleeping, I ventured up to the floor above us, which was free.
Hello.
people.
I appreciate only Vice understands that reference, but still.
100.
Up there is the floor above us has some food, a lot of root vegetables, a lot of with.
You're
Private
cutting in and
capital,
out,
you may-
Amy.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Any
so-
Vegetables. That's what she said, Vice.
Ooh. Man, I was just. I
Baked
was
potato
just.
for dinner.
I
Can
was
hear you,
literally.
Yeah, for the sake of half an
about
hour,
one of
probably
my
just
veg-
talk a little bit louder. But like from this point onwards, you guys are probably gonna.
I'll
wanna-
move a bit closer to the mic, but I
Yeah.
have a baby next door, so I don't want to wake him too
That's
much.
fine. We can
Um,
change your tolerance for next time, but for
too
now, it's all good.
Okay. Right. So yes, there are various vegetables, potatoes, carrots, that kind of thing on the floor above us. There are also a lot of foods that I'm not familiar with. They seem quite exotic. There was
What? Okay, I'm really interested now, Lieutenant.
There's also a bed, which makes me believe that we are not the only people in this tower, or at least not the only people to occupy it recently. There
I
was
just
also...
realised nobody else saw this.
So what?
Nobody else saw the floor. Sorry. Carry on.
Why is that funny?
Just because Amy's describing it, and like I forgot that I moved her to it solo. You guys haven't seen it.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well, that's fine. Things make
I mean,
sense.
I've got a great picture in my head so far.
So there is somebody has been here or is still here, so we need to be mindful of that. There was a lot of colourful lanterns, and there is some scripture that is in a mix of common tongue, Elvish, and some Elvish code as well. The only thing I could derive from it is that it was something about arcanic machination-based solitude, whatever that means. I tried going up to the floor above, however, it was locked, or it appeared to be locked. I didn't continue any further, as I said. I'm due to believe we're not alone in this tower.
My headset decided to disconnect on itself.
Oh, I was just saying that as well as
Nice.
the colourful lantern, there's scripture up there, like a book that is written in Common and Elvish, and also Elvish code. There's a picture and some sketches of an ornate chest, and it says something about arcanic machination-based solitude, although I don't know what that means. I did try going up to the floor above, but the door to the next floor appeared to be locked, and I didn't force it. So now that we're all together, as we have no way out, I propose that we all move as a group to the next floor and see if any of you are able to make note of the room, see if you can see anything that I could not. And Private Kavanagh, as you are the chef of the group, see if there's anything you can acquire for us later on.
Yes, Lieutenant. I'm already there.
Okay. So
Am I right in assuming that you all collectively make your way upstairs?
I'm going to make a point of saying I'll go first,
Okay.
as I'm familiar with the floor and what I saw the night before. And I'm again going to stress to the group, quietly, don't make a lot of noise, be on your guard.
Taryn, what did you say?
I'll try.
I would follow like straight behind. Just mention like I want to see about this scripture. I want to see if I can glean anything from it.
Vice, we'll have to keep an eye out for a hen. We might have a hen.
Well, I mean,
You know, hens can lay up to like 3 eggs a day.
you know what? I did know that, and I didn't think that. I thought that if there was a live chicken up there, that Lieutenant would have mentioned that. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know if you guys clocked it, but I seriously low roll. So I was
In the corner,
Vice.
Sleep.
Vice. As you look through your existing book that you have about your person, foreign botany and nutritional capacity,
yeah.
you come across a section in Elven, and it mentions a vegetable called a scaneece.
Oh man! Guys, I'm so sorry. I totally didn't take notes for at least the last half an hour, so I have no idea. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm just gonna put that as blank spot.
That's when Vice was asleep.
Or I blacked out.
Asleep. Explored. That's all you need to put.
Asleep. Okay.
Josh, we're seeing your
I was using the A from Shanice's name in Love Island to get the A with the accent, so that's what the
okay.
stream
I
has
was like-
seen.
So I read.
My bad.
Read book.
A
So I read
scaneece.
my book and I found a vegetable. Is it a vegetable? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe I said vegetable. I am
You
not
did.
certain.
You did.
You did say vegetable.
Vegetable, yeah. Yeah, and it was called a scaniche. Scaniche.
A scanese.
Chinese.
A scanice.
Yep.
Scanice. Scanice. Yeah. Okay. All right. I have no idea what it is. I mean, other than the fact that but I mean, I've never before reading in this book, I had never heard of that before. Ever. What does it look like? Can you describe it to me what it looks like?
Well, the reason that you sort of stop on that page is that as you see Taran turn around and you look towards those shelves, you see a vegetable that matches the image. I could draw it, but I'd be making it up as I go along.
Do it, please. Do it. Let me just see this.
It's a cross between a pineapple and a parsnip.
Wait, is that just gonna be like a long pineapple then?
It's like a
Basically.
spiky. It has this. It's got one of these.
I
That's-
can't see what you're drawing. Why can't I see?
It's on the
anything?
map.
No, I can't see. I haven't got the map.
Oh. No, I put you guys on the map.
I
I'm
don't
on the map. I can
have-
see it.
I don't have the map. Why can't I
Are
see
you
the
on
map?
roll 20, Matt?
I mean,
I am-
refresh roll
I am-
20.
I am on roll 20.
I can see you.
I can't.
Oh, we are a weird joint together character, Josh.
What?
Like me. Oh no, it's just
Let
the way I
me
flipped
just
that
come
way.
out. Let me just come out and come back in. You do the old.
You can control everyone's token, Livia.
Yeah, I know.
What is coming out of me right now?
a scanice. A scanice.
That's a scanese.
Scanese.
Oh,
A
okay.
scanice is coming out of you right now.
I don't know if I can move it without moving you. No, I can't.
I mean, it's fine. I was just saying.
What's the long bit? What's the long bit?
It has like a stalk.
Oh,
Like an apple.
Wait,
No,
hang
no,
on.
it's fine.
I'm still loading.
It's
I'm
like a
still
sort of
loading.
strangely segmented, spiky fruit with a stalk.
so it's a
Yeah,
vegetable.
yeah. I can't.
Yes,
Josh,
that's
my-
why I
my
said
map
like
is not
a.
loading.
Oh.
My map is
I
not
just, I
loading.
just can't help you with that, Max. This,
I want to see this
I've really done all
scaniche.
I can at this point.
That's all I'm interested in. Scaniche.
I'm gonna leave this. I'll leave the skinnies up there.
I just want to know what the scaniche looks like. That's all I want.
Taran,
I can't see anything.
as you head over to the desk,
Can you take a picture of something? Someone.
Oh, I'll
please?
send you a picture.
Oh no, I can't. I have no picture.
Taran, as you head over to the desk, that kind of loosely matches the description that Aresia gave, can you please roll investigation for me?
Yes. I can indeed. I think it's 5. Let me just double check.
Ooh, nice. Well done.
I mean, either way, it doesn't matter because it's not 20. Yeah, it's +5. Fuck yeah. Big investigate.
Aresia, you can roll investigation.
I've put it in Tales of Bela'Dun, Max.
Okay, thank you.
I've sent it to the WhatsApp group, the picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Taran.
can't see any of this.
On a natural 20, you find the book that Aresia...
Complete opposite.
I'm not, I'm
from
not
the
going to
test.
investigate anything.
Wait,
Taran, you find the book.
that doesn't look anything like what I pictured. It. Sorry, carry on.
Taran, you find the book as Aresia searches some dude's bed and literally just like moves around some sheets. Let me find
Good
where
bed.
I
Love
put
this.
in here. That's not good. I hope I've written it somewhere slightly more coherently. Scoop in this, blah 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 blah.
Glad I'm getting the good rolls on things that matter to me for my character.
Wow.
I mean, at this
I
point,
haven't.
can I-
So go on, Aresia.
No, I was just going to say, can I even see the bed at this point?
Livia, roll
This is a bet.
investigation. Taran, as you flip through the pages, you learn a number of things about this book. It seems that it's describing the tower itself, and essentially what it says is that there is 2 floors per... What the fuck is that? There is 2 floors per gateway. To open a gateway, you must perform magics powerful enough to open the gateway. And the requirement of each gateway is increases every 2 floors.
Okay.
It points out that this tower, it kind of loosely mentions who the tower may have been owned by, and kind of just pieces and bits together. You kind of piece together that some sort of very powerful mage lived here, created many things, and then suddenly left. You also gather, given the various things that you search through this book, that something worthy of being called a sort of masterpiece of this person lies at the top. And that the lanterns you see in front of you are powered by precious gems. Those are the 2 kind of tidbits of information that you gather through the parts of the book that are not encrypted.
It would be a like heavily mumbly kind of session of me reading this book, like very much like oh, okay. Like the thing that talked about. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Livia, is that you using guidance?
Yeah.
Okay. So as Livia stands still for 6 seconds, and then emanates a sort of quick light from her hand amidst herself, she searches about the room. What are you looking for? Just a general look about the room?
Well, yeah, she told us what she found, and she asked us to see if we could find anything else.
Okay. I'll tell you what then, because I think I've got it written down here. Cool. So, you see all sorts of things. Around the room, you see the food, you see the scripture and various books and things, you see the lanterns, you see the bed that Oresia is still sort of... It looks as if she's trying to make it at this point. She's like putting a sheet over the duvet. She's like half in the sheet, thinking that she's going to do it inside out first and then like flip it back around. There's a lot of confusion in that corner. And then out of the corner of your eye, you see a purple light quickly making its way around the trapdoor that leads to the floor above. And it's sort of moving in a way that you don't really recognize. And as you stare at it for a moment, you realize that you saw a glimmer of it as Oresia explained how to get through the main door right at the beginning of this tower. And you think that it's similar in fashion. Do you want to do anything
Guys,
further?
I saw the weird purple light thing.
I jump out of the sheets. Where?
And then I'll show
Okay.
them.
So as you guys presumably collectively make your way over to the trapdoor, and like Vice is sort of left to kind of look up from the edge of the stairway whilst Oresia and Livia are on the stairs themselves and Taran is still reading this book, you all see the same message that you saw before. Learned or gifted, faultless or flawed, you possess what is needed, now open the door.
Guys, I think we need to go through the door. Grab what you can.
I want to go and I want to grab one of these lamps to see if I can dismantle it in some way to get to the gym.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to reach in and grab the gem within. And as you do so, you take it out of the lantern. Bear with me. So, what coloured lantern did you take the gem from?
I imagine the red one seems like the closest, so I would have gone for that.
Bear with me. Why is this not a earlier thing?
And following like the gem coming out, my intention would be afterwards to be like, this could come in handy, sort of signal to the others. And
So you hold
take the
a
rest.
sort of poorly cut ruby. You expect its value to be roughly 50 gold. But you notice, having taken it out of the lantern, that the lantern no longer sheds light and is just a sort of frame that is not emitting anything at this point.
I'm going to go over to Taran after he sort of showed us and say to him we should take the rest.
Yeah.
We could use them, or possibly Nemea.
Yeah. So the enchanter friend of yours,
Okay.
she could use these.
So the room gets a fair bit darker.
I would then use dancing lights.
Yeah, I've also got light as well, so I could potentially cast light on one of the lanterns.
That's fine. It's lit well enough without the lanterns from the same sort of sconces that were on the previous floor. But you
obviously it
gather
drops.
two rubies, 2 times.
Do you want to
poorly
take the 2 rubies,
cut
Taryn, and I'll
rubies.
take the rest?
One worth
Yeah, sure.
50 GP, one worth 10 GP. You have.
Did you say like one of them is worth 50 and one of them is worth 10?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, what else is there? Two rupees.
GP. I'm putting it into roll 20. So the blue one
Not
is.
rupees, sorry, rubies.
The green one
yeah.
is a moss agate. 10 GP. I spelled that wrong. And then you have a citrine. And the small yellowy one, sort of greenish yellow, is powered by amber, which is worth 100 GP.
I imagine I'd take the rubies and I'd take that dark blue one because I like the color compared to my scales. I'm just there like this is.
Is that the Lipawi Lawazi one?
I'm assuming that's supposed to be lapis lazuli.
I've written it as per whatever the
Lazuli?
fuck I got it from. Yeah, lapis
Okay.
lazuli. That's what I was going
You
for.
take lapis lazuli and the rubies. I'll take the other 3.
I'm typing it as lapuli lazuli. That was cool.
It's-
Oh my
That's
God,
not
mate,
right.
Mate, why couldn't it have just been like diamond, like sapphire?
Sapphire.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those
to be
are-
fair, we got amber and ruby.
Those are more expensive gems, the ones you guys are describing.
I get citrin. Is that citrin?
Mhm.
Citrin.
Yeah.
And also gate. That's green.
50.
Yes.
I'm. Oh, okay.
I know this from WoW. I am a jewel crafter.
2 rubies
know.
and a lapis lazuli.
Okay.
Or lapuli.
And there's amber. Sorry.
Lapuli
Okay,
lazuli. So you
Fine,
guys.
do you want to grab whatever veg and stuff you want to take?
Yeah, I do want to have a look around. I also want to find out if there's any books in this room other than what Taryn has read.
So aside from the main kind of written section that makes up this book, there are loose pages, but no other books. Most of them are written in this encrypted Elven language that you don't understand. Some of them are in common, and they sort of explain the same kind of stuff. However, you do manage to gather in food stores 4 carrots.
Wait,
4 times
4.
carrots. 2 times potatoes.
Oh yeah. 4
3.
carrots.
I'm gonna have to Google Shanice from Love Island again to get that A. Where was
It
it?
doesn't matter.
What?
Max is handwriting it. It doesn't matter.
What? Are you talking about that freaking vegetable?
The scanice, 3 scanice
Yeah.
that you've
Scanice.
identified from your foreign botany and whatever else that book says.
Yeah.
I imagine I
as
would
well
keep
as-
the scripture with me.
I got a 1 scanice.
No, it's not 1 scanice. It's 3 scanice.
3 scanice.
I put it in roll 20.
Hey, scanice. Scanice.
Yeah, like I said,
There we go.
I'll keep the scripture like with me. as well.
Okay, so you take
Yeah,
that
well,
book, Taryn. Just add.
Just put it down as coded scripture.
Yeah, it's Arcanic Machination Based Solitude is the name of the book.
Ooh,
Cool.
okay.
Could I take a lantern
But
and
that
cast
was-
light on it and use it?
You could, but the nature of the light spell doesn't necessarily need a lantern to be cast on. But
No,
yeah,
I know,
you can.
but it seems to.
Yeah,
It seems apt.
It's apt. You cast light into the center of the lantern, causing it to create this light. The lantern just obscures the light, if anything, and it's sort of metal and strange structure. The glass obviously lets it through, but the light itself is just coming from the spell rather than any kind
I'm
of
just being
actual
cautious.
lantern.
It might not have lights upstairs. I'm taking a light.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you guys see the same message that you saw on the original doorway on this trapdoor above you. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna look to Aresia for her lead.
Sorry, give me 2 secs. Oh.
I think I'd immediately try and put my dancing light up to it again.
Okay. So, Taryn, you rejoin the group and you bring your dancing lights over to the trapdoor. Nothing seems to happen. Livia, actually, never mind. Let me check myself.
Sorry, Josh. I'm back with you.
You what? Sorry.
Sorry, I'm back with you.
Okay,
Just,
good. Livia, I think you were asking Arestia a question.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm just saying I'm looking at her to take the lead.
Oh,
like,
okay.
if she's ready to go up.
As you come over, Livia, with the lantern, nothing happens as well. Similarly to Taryn and the dancing lights, all moving over to this trapdoor, this opening.
So there's. Oh yeah, I didn't. Did I see the purple light? When
I told you.
Livia,
Yeah,
when
Livia told you
pointed
about
out.
it. And after a short while, it comes again, leaving a kind of
Okay.
sawdust instead of stony dust like the previous one. It seems to leave remnants of whatever it was burned into as it travels around the trim of the entryway, but it heals
Okay.
over like it did before. The slats of the
Okay.
wood that make up this ceiling and likely the next floor heal over as this message is burnt in it once more.
Okay.
Yeah, and after a moment, like, of everyone trying their stuff, I would relay the information of, like, from the book that I read, there's 2 floors per gate. This seems to be another one of these gates. And according to the scripture, it says that stronger magic is needed per gate. I imagine my ball of light was probably enough. We may need to use something a bit stronger here to try and bypass this door.
Well, let's see if we can open it.
That's what. Sorry, I got distracted by baby. That's what you read from the book, or what you read from the zigzaggy etching
From the book.
from the book. Okay. Right. So I'm going to turn to the group and say, the way we found ourselves here was through the door that left the mysterious message etched in stone. Seems to be a similar light here. If it's anything like it was,
It says the same
outs-
message as well as last time.
Oh, does it?
At this point, Arestia, you see the same message, like, slowly burning its way around the edge of the
Oh, right,
trapdoor
okay.
to the next room.
Also, it's worth noting that the last door, once we'd gone through it, disappeared. So we should just be prepared that when we go through, this one also might disappear.
Yes.
I would say it's worth trying everything we have, and I'd approach the door,
Mhm.
place my hand upon it, and use Shocking Grasp.
Give me the
Can we not just
description of
open it?
Shocking Grasp.
Hmm?
If one of you wants
Describe
to try
it.
and intervene, you can do so.
I'll intervene and say stop. Doesn't necessarily mean. Did it actually say verbatim in the book need stronger magic, or is that how you're interpreting it?
I feel like it said that.
Okay. Before we try that, I've made
So
two
yeah,
locks.
the book that you read, Taryn, did specify that the gateways require increasingly strong magic to open.
Yeah.
That was
But
specified.
have any of us tried to open this gate without using any magic yet?
I did last night, but it felt like it was
Locked.
locked. But I didn't force it.
But did you see the funny writing last
I
night?
did not last night, no, because I
So-
had very bad rolls.
This might work. We might need to save your magic for the next door.
Hmm.
That's aimed at Taryn.
Is
I
there
would- don't
anything
worry, there's nothing.
in the vein
Say that
of
again,
like a
Taryn. That
lock
didn't really
or-
come through.
You're sorry, Taryn.
No, so I'd say that this doesn't really take anything out of me. This is like nothing. This is something I can do constantly.
What was the spell?
Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
Well, let's see if it opens without you doing anything, because if it does, then great. And if it doesn't, then try it.
So, Arestia, do you want to, given that you guys have kind of intervened, Taryn's taken a second moment to reconsider the spell, although ultimately still sort of leaning out as though he's happy to cast it. Are you specifically trying to push it in any fashion, Arestia?
Can I see any mechanism on the door?
Roll investigation.
Like a lock? But you know I don't. That roll. Rick doesn't like me.
You shouldn't look for specific things then.
I'm just looking to see if there's a keyhole or anything like a
You
lock.
shouldn't have pushed it.
Literally just this.
I did do that last night. Didn't move.
It's not a difficult roll, you're right up in front of it. So you see the same kind of like metally ring sort of like ring pull style thing of a trapdoor. It doesn't look as though it locks in any fashion, and yet obviously you wouldn't need to use the ring pull from this side to open it. It would probably be to close it, but as you sort of just push that general area, nothing happens. Why don't you roll athletics for me? Or actually, screw that, give me flat strength. So just a d20 plus whatever your strength modifier is.
Okay.
That one.
Oh.
Your wrist snaps in half. It's because you did a .r instead of a /r.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
At least it's not Reddit.
Yeah, at least it's not an r/ like Lucy always does.
We miss you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you push it and you feel no give whatsoever. Unnaturally so, because normally a locked platform or door would move slightly as the hinge is inside the lock, and you could even feel the wood give if you pushed really hard, which you're certain you have, and yet this thing is solid as if it's not a door at all. And you're unable to open it. Taran is just there, kind of hand lingering close to the trapdoor at this point.
So I've tried pushing the door. It looks like it can't be pushed by physical means, so if you have a spell up your sleeve, let's give it a go.
Oh, it's worth giving it a try. And then I'll put my hand up to it and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay, give me a melee spell attack with advantage. This is not a moving object in any fashion. Nice,
Hey.
nat 20. So as you reach your hand up and cast the spell into the doorway, it sort of dissipates against it. There's a kind of crackling of lightning as it spreads out. Nothing happens.
Let's think again about the message, which was, what was it? Learned or gifted, for what you possess, what not open. If that clue is anything to go by, we're not without the tools needed to open this door. Learned or gifted, faultless or... Are any of you familiar with riddles?
Definitely.
Oh, like
If we're
this.
talking... No, I mean, isn't it pretty much the same as what we had before?
It's the same message as the main door, yeah. You've tried a
Yeah.
couple spells now.
Have we?
Well, I mean, a few spells have been cast in the presence of this thing. So you cast Light, Taran cast Dancing Lights, Taran's cast Shocking Grasp. All of these have been cantrips. Taran's explained to you the nature of the book.
I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
We finally found what was necessary to cast the spell.
You know what I mean? Finally.
Okay,
I'm gonna say
so
it again.
you're casting it as an action, yeah?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
So, Livia,
Mhm.
as you cast Detect Magic, a few things happen. Firstly, all of your surrounding comrades light up like lighthouses. They have various colours and auras of various schools of magic. I won't go through the specifics of each.
No, don't.
Taran has a staff upon him that you recognise to be emanating some sort of really specific magic. It's definitely transmutation magic. And just as the magic of the trapdoor above you seems to be glowing and you're about to kind of get what school it is, it dissipates entirely and kind of loosens in place.
Can I try the door?
You push it and it opens quite happily. You're able to just about see through to what appears to be another room, not entirely dissimilar to this one. From your current position, you can see something up there. It looks as though there's maybe some sort of metal structure. You're not sure what of. But that is all we have time for. So we will have to end it there.
Hard stopped on 10.
What I find hilarious is you thought we'd get to this tower last session.
I know. I mean, if we didn't like go through all the things we went through, we could have like quickly got there. But
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you guys took
Yeah.
too long taking off that spider's head.
I know it took like 8 people to cut the spider's head
We've
off. So I
climbed
feel
2
like
whole
that's what.
trees in between the time it's taken to get to this tower.
Well, Vice has.
Exactly. we.
He also has the fastest means of
Monkey
getting out
man.
of them again.
Have the what, sorry?
This is true. This
I
is
know.
true. He doesn't waste time. No.
The fastest means of getting out of them, Vice.
Let's see.
Cool.
I,
Okay, thanks for joining us, various stream people. We shall see you next week for the continuation of whatever the hell this tower holds in store for the group.
Yeah.
We do not know whether or not they will survive.
Probably
See y'all later.
Are
I
in.
thank you
think-
very
wait.
much, guys.
Yeah, next week is fine. See you all Tuesday.
Yeah. See
Oh,
you then.
Max, stay for a sec. I need to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, Owen.
stream.
Thanks, Amy. You were